VCR Podcast with your host, Vish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself in the moment the title is spoken. Adam, aka askcsradical, here with you guys. Jin and Chris and Views Vishal's here with us. I just want to take a moment to start off the show by just saying one thing and one thing only, and from here on out, we will not speak of this again. It is obviously the 6th of January as we record this, and nothing at all has happened, but we do want to make it very clear, based on what actually has happened, that we stand with democracy and not fucking fascism.
Yep.
Done. So,
Yeah.
otherwise, how are you guys
100%.
doing on this uneventful Wednesday?
Well,
Yeah, uneventful. I'm just enjoying my whiskey on this totally uneventful day.
so far, there hasn't been an apocalyptic event yet in 2021.
I mean, technically,
early.
based on the game that you played in the last few days, the apocalypse did exist. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh boy, dude.
so you know what?
trust me, I
Fuck
got
it.
so
Let's
much
not
to
even
say.
sugarcoat the shit. Let's not even tease it a little bit more. Let's get right the fuck into it. So what have we been doing in the last 7 days?
we're
Vish,
going,
I know
right
exactly
in.
what you've been doing, and might I say, for 2021, might have been the stupidest decision you've ever made.
Well, if all fairness,
Great
if
start
that's
to the
the
year.
worst decision I've made. It's all going up from here then.
That is a good point. It is a good point.
So, two other things I've done. I binged Cobra Kai season 3.
Okay, that's not the worst
Um,
thing.
Glorious 80s cheesiness. It was just, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. There was a lot of throwbacks this season, and there was a lot of character development for what Cobra Kai is. Again, it's an 80s show made in 2020, made in the late 20. It's an 80s show that's happening in this contemporary lifetime, and it's just fun. It's just lighthearted. It's actually great character development, and it's just a fun thing to watch. Do you remember last year was set a week ago, that Transformer show that's new on Netflix, the CGI one? They released the second season. Awesome. Literally the best thing Transformers has ever done, in my opinion. And
You trying to say the
it's-
Michael Bay movies weren't that good?
Adam, go to your room. You're drunk.
No, I can't.
I liked the first one.
Chris, go to your room. You're drunk.
What? But the first
Wait,
one
wait,
was good.
wait. Take out Megan Fox's car hood scene. Is it still good?
Is she still in the movie, and just that scene's removed, or she's gone?
Let's go Max
let's just say
Chaos. She's gone.
She's gone? I don't want to watch the movie.
Okay.
I'm bored of
Well,
it.
then the movie wasn't that good.
Yep. So it was. It's the best thing Transformers has ever done. It's a legit war show. It's not. It not even feels like a Transformer show. It's very short. It's 6 episodes, 20-minute episodes. So it's basically like watching a movie. So it's like
It's like
watching
a half
an
anime
Endgame.
season. That's pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. So it's awesome, but oh my god, this season ended up on a huge cliffhanger.
So it did a good job.
Oh man, I want to tell you guys what happened. It's
I mean,
It-
in the interest of not spoiling people. Speaking of
yes.
Transformers, though, have
Maybe
you
you can
ever
tell us
played
after the
Transformers Devastation?
Is that the one on PS3?
I think it was the one made by Platinum Games. I think it was just like a cell shaded kind of beat 'em up.
Yeah. I think it may have been on PS4.
Yes. Oh, that's a good game.
I was just about to ask you if you played that one because I know that was easily everybody's favorite Transformer video game. So
No, that was also on. It was free 1 month for PlayStation Plus. I remember that month was really good. That and the Resident Evil 1 remake that was on GameCube came out for PlayStation Plus that month.
Mm.
I remember because I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. I tried playing Resident Evil for 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is still dated as fuck.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm older now. Maybe this won't scare me so bad. And then I realized, no, I don't think it's the game that scares me anymore. It's the fact that it's so poorly controlled.
Yeah, it's just
so bad.
Poorly done.
Tank control.
So yeah, no, that but there was one that came out for PS3, and that again had like the war game atmosphere, and it was so good. Like it's I forget what it's called. It came out for PS3. It's just a really good game. It takes place on Cybertron, and
I think it was probably War for Cybertron, wasn't it?
Oh,
I think that
Battle
might
for
be it.
Cybertron.
It's something like that. Yeah, no, that was
a
a really good game. It's really good.
But enough about good games. Let's talk about the one dumb decision you made.
Yeah. So I've been so again, as I said, for the rest of 2020, I was painting a lot because I just had to do some changes, and I had some time off. But then I was like, you know what? Before I go back to work, I'm gonna just chill a little, and I'm gonna play a game
and play The Last of Us Part 2. Chill, he says.
So it's amazing storytelling, atmosphere, visuals, voice acting, and the feel. Like the way they make you feel in the game is exactly what they were aiming for, and they did a fantastic job with that. And by all means, it's not the kick in the balls that people were bitching about, but it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing of like you're the villain in anyone's story, like. You're the good guy of your own story. You're the bad guy of somebody else's story.
I mean, they made it pretty clear in that story that there are no good guys, only not as bad guys.
Like, you literally don't know, like, because you play as Ellie and Abby. You play on each side.
Also, the game's still 12 months. So let's try to make sure we don't tell too much information either. So,
and Abby had a way better game, way better story, way better character interactions. Like it's well out there that Joel got killed, and he gets killed very swiftly and quickly.
So I literally say, hey, let's not do anything crazy spoilers for since it's like less than 12 months old. And he's like, here's the big spoiler.
This isn't the big spoiler. I promise you that.
It is a big spoiler, dude.
No, it was well out there that
doesn't matter. There's still people that somehow avoided it. Oh, by the way, in Avengers Endgame, Thanos gets killed, but he snaps half people out in existence first in the first movie. Just so you guys know. So I will ask the one question. Now that you've played the full game, I still have been of the opinion, because I obviously didn't play the game. I just read how the story is. Do you agree or disagree with the opinion that I hold, in that it probably would have made more sense to put Abby's story, since it's a the events of the first few hours of Last of Us Part 2, if they would have put that in the beginning and had you start out as Abby, so you actually would have liked her earlier ahead of time?
No, what they should have done is made this into 2 games. Because from what I've read on a few things, because the biggest problem is this game dragged, like, badly. Like, one huge problem I have with The Last of Us, and I don't remember if I had the same problem with the first game, I think I did, but it's been so long, is that you're always searching for supplies, and your ammo is and your supplies are extremely limited. You're always searching, like...
So the drag is because you're just not spending a lot of time in action. You're spending it more just kind of like...
exploring and picking up items. Like, it's annoying as fuck. What they said is that the original idea of the game was supposed to be longer. So you have 3 chapters in the city. Originally, it's supposed to be 5 chapters in the city per person. Oh, well, it is 3 chapters per person between Abby and Ellie. What I think they should have done is split this game into 2 games, because it ended up being long enough that it actually could have been 2 games.
Yeah, but how long did you play it for?
About 27 hours.
Yeah, if they split that in half, people would be furious about that, because if it was full price.
No, but I mean, they could have done it like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they split it into chapters.
But Final Fantasy VII is like 100 hours.
Fair enough. But that's just a few feelings I have about it. That it dragged a lot. You spent a lot of time exploring.
Yeah, I don't think they could have split the games. I think they just could have reduced a lot of the clutter, probably.
Yeah,
kept the pace
one thing
going.
that annoys the fuck out of me is it had a lot of playable cutscenes. So it's a cutscene, but you're controlling the character during the cutscene. It's like, why don't you just?
Are you meaning like QuickTime events?
No, just like you're walking the character during the cutscene.
So what? It's just like Uncharted when they're talking to each other and still walking around. Like, is that what you mean?
Kind of, but it's like
because when I think cutscene, I mean like an actual like film scene where you're not in control and the camera's like doing its own thing. Are you talking like the camera angle's still the same and you're just walking as they do stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty basic for adventure games.
Yeah, so I thought that was unnecessary.
I kind of like it just because it gives you lore, but it also keeps you still moving rather than like sitting on your hands and doing nothing. I think it depends too on the context of what's going on. If it's just dialogue, I think it's fine.
I just found that part was unnecessary. And again, it's just while I think it's somewhat of a masterpiece of storytelling and of visualization, I don't think I had fun playing it at all. I don't think that I was like the first game I thought like, oh, this is fucking awesome. This is like really awesome. And then I played this one and I'm just like I don't know if I had
This was
fun
definitely an art game. This was not meant to be like a game that you remember because you enjoyed every minute of it. This is meant to be a game that's like, oh, I'm feeling things I don't want to feel right now.
Yeah, and you literally you don't smile the entire game at all. And as I mentioned, it's like you really hated the previous characters at certain points because there is one scene I'll tell you guys after the show about that one scene, and that one really fucked me up. Like I actually just like froze a little. And another thing, like they fucking had this option in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 where you could skip a level where you kill hostages, whatever. But it's like, come on, man, you don't have to kill the fucking dog in games. Like it just
I was literally just gonna ask you once you were done. I'm like, how many times do you have to hug Bowser after?
Oh my god, man! Like it just the worst part is it's like when you kill the dog, it's like
it doesn't sugarcoat it. It's meant to make you fucking cry.
Yeah.
It really did. And then the one part where one of the dogs die, it's actually one of the side characters' pets. Like you actually go hug this dog, pet the dog, like, hi Alice, how are you? Like you actually like have a bond with this dog.
It's like that one level in Call of Duty Ghosts where the dog gets shot and you have to spend like the next 10 minutes listening to that dog whimper and you're like, fucking stop, you're killing my heart.
Yeah, it's just I just don't think like I get why like it's practical, why it's happening. It just sucks.
Oh, as a game that's meant to elicit emotions, apparently it does it fucking stellar. But
yeah, that's what I've heard too.
As a game, I mean, if you're going in expecting to enjoy yourself, you won't. Like, not in the traditional sense. You're not going to leave that game with a smile on your face.
No, you won't. And that was the biggest thing. It's like what I should have done is played that to end 2020, which I don't know would have been worse.
I think neither option was a good idea. I will tell you though that you now need to play something stupid to counterbalance that. Like I don't.
Yeah, I got Crash Bandicoot.
No. That's not stupid enough. You need to go like Saints Row Yakuza level stupid. Like something dumb, fuck funny that just you forget. Like did you play South Park Fractured Butthole yet?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
I should give you my copy. Wait, do I still have the copy of it? Okay, I do.
No.
I literally should give you that and just be like, go have fun.
All right. You know what? If you want, let me know which one you want to borrow right now.
Oh, I can easily mooch Morales off Chris when we finally do our console share. I'll mooch Tsushima off you.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we can swap games for that one. because that sounds, first of all, the
Yeah,
title's fucking
legit. You need
hilarious.
something stupid funny to kind of counterbalance
Yeah,
that depression.
so that's why I got Crash Bandicoot, because also it's like with the lockdown, I need something just to keep my mind off it, because that's why I painted so much during the lockdown, during my time off, because uh, I can't binge or just game that much for that long. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like go insane. I had to do something just to like keep my mind off shit, and it's like I said, it's 20. We're still having the repercussions of 2020, so let's hope they don't last too long. But it's this game, like I mentioned, it's a it's somewhat of a masterpiece. You're not going to be happy playing it at all. It is painfully depressing. It's painfully difficult to go through, and it does drag a lot.
It's kind of like it's kind of like to games what Schindler's List is to films. Like, you know that you're watching art, but you're not enjoying all of it.
No, it's like what you call with Grave with, I haven't seen it, but Grave with the Fireflies. You watch
Oh,
it
please
once,
don't
you
watch that
appreciate-
too. Oh man, don't watch that after playing
Yeah,
Last of Us
do
Part
not
2.
watch that. No.
You,
No.
Because
No,
if
what I'm
you
saying is,
watch
like,
Grave of the
with the whole
Fireflies
thing-
in the next 7 days, we're not going to find you on this podcast unless we're doing like an effigy for you.
It's no, what it is. It's like the whole situation. It's like you once you finish it, you never want to touch it again, because you're just it's like there's also a lot of self destruction in that game, and you feel it. And also, what also fucked me up a little bit was the fact of like this game. Everything started for a viral outbreak, and it mutated, and the world went to shit.
Well, look, it's a good
So
thing we don't. It's a good thing we don't
already-
have daughters. We don't have to worry about our daughter getting killed.
Oh my god, all of us have nieces, so it's just fucking horrible.
Yeah, but they
And
ain't
young-
that old, so it's fine. Well, it's just mathematically, it's fine. Okay, just take the math.
Mathematically, it's fine.
And then
Just make sure you're not carrying them during the whole process. You know.
it's the whole situation of like, I'm like, is this what we're in for right now? Like, this is literally fucking like how it started, like with a viral outbreak. And also, one last thing I'll say, it has some of the most disgustingly repulsive villain designs I have ever seen, in a good and bad way. Like, they are so disgusting that you almost admire how disgusting they are.
It's like, look, you're disgusting, but you're artfully disgusting. You turned it into a
Artfully
craft,
disgusting.
sir.
Again, there was I also found there was a lot of Walking Dead influence in there as well. Because
Shocking.
there's a lot of guerrilla warfare going on between clans and groups.
What a shocking revelation that a popular franchise took from another popular franchise. Never happened before.
Yeah. So again, The
Brand
Last of Us 2.
If you were to give it a score, what would you give it? That's the real last kicker here.
I honestly, like, despite the mood, feeling, and everything, I think I'd probably give it a 10. Sorry, a 9 out of 10. Visually, story, atmosphere, mood, and everything, it was done so well. It's just the gameplay was extremely basic and some mechanical issues, but essentially it was, like you said, an artful game, and it did what it was supposed to.
It made you want to kill yourself. Yeah, good job, Last of Us.
It's just, again, you play it once, you'll never touch it again, and you don't want to, because it literally was just that heavy of a game to play. And I have never felt like this in a game ever. The only time I ever felt this depressed was the ending of Spider-Man, but that's only because a beloved character that we've all loved since we were young died, and it was just an absolute shock. But the overall game was a good, fun experience. This one was just, the entire time you're just unhappy, and it's at a point that the whole mission behind this game was just, it's like, when is it enough? Like, when's it just when's it enough? Like how far do you have to go until you just realize like this is destroying me? This is like going to destroy everything around me. And it got to that point. But yeah.
So Chris, where's your depression lying?
Jeez. Yeah, I definitely don't have anything as depressing as that at all. But I did play a few games and watched a bit of something. First thing I played, I don't know if you guys remember last year I was talking about going back and finding old games on Steam to finally play. And I ended up finding one that was on that EA Humble Bundle because I'd played Mirror's Edge and a couple other games that were on there, and one that I had not played through was Crysis 2. So I decided to install and play through Crysis 2. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm only like 1 or 2 missions left. And it's only taking me like
still here, so that's fine.
Yes, I posted a screenshot on Steam, and the funniest thing is like every comment is just so you can run Crysis. like
we all know the meme.
Yes. But the thing is
that motherfucker.
So playing through Crysis 2, which apparently is and I played Crysis 1, so I've already played through that. But I played this on, my new 1440p monitor and everything. I'm playing it on ultra settings because the game's from 2011. So it's 9 years old. So normally when a game's 9 years old, I can just max out everything on my computer. And
in theory,
it's stupid how, in theory, this game, 1440p ultra on this one, I can get 60 frames per second at 1440p, but like any other first-person shooter from then, like I would get way more than 60. Like I'd get 120 or higher. Like, I mean, I was trying to get this to go any higher, even putting the game down to like medium low settings. It still only went up to like 70 something and still looked beautiful. It's just the amount of detail Crysis games that Crytek or whatever it is that they're called, Crytek. That puts into it, like holy shit. Like I would find myself sitting there looking at this like alien, destroyed New York City, and I'm like, this looks fucking beautiful. The only thing in the game that shows it's from 2011 is the facial animations, just because back then they had not figured out facial animations to be like they are now in games. But it was weird. It was like old facial animation, but everything else looks beyond beautiful, like almost too realistic. I couldn't believe how good the game looks.
Oh, that's insane. Like I think there was 1 month on PlayStation Plus where Crysis was one of the games, and the fact that I remember seeing it and I was like, hey, this game looks pretty fucking beautiful.
Yeah. So I actually use this game as a test, because I have the Game Pass on my Xbox, and I installed Crysis 2, the Xbox 360 edition, and they look completely different. Like the one on Xbox was 30 frames per second, 720p, and the field of view is like here. Like it is so much more zoomed in. It was crazy the difference between the two, and of course that's just being, I guess, PC at the time versus Xbox 360. Like if this game came out now on say PS5, Xbox, no doubt in my mind it would look better probably than, well, you could probably still get it better on PC, but you would need fucking $1,000 video card and the rest of it. Like it would run beautifully now, but what the 360
long is the campaign?
Not long. Like I think I'm almost 7 hours in, and I've got 1 or 2 missions left out of 18. So I imagine I've got another hour.
That's the other thing I'm wondering, like when you're saying it's from 2011, it's like if it's this detailed, this like beautiful to see, there's a good chance it's probably not a long game. And
no, yeah. Even then, too, first-person shooters generally don't tend to go that long anyway.
Yeah, the campaigns aren't very long. But yeah, this game is like crazy beautiful for a game from 2011, and I was like kind of blown away. Funny thing is, though, the first half of the game, I would say, I found it too hard on easy. They did not fuck around at all, and some of it was cheesy, and I was kind of pissed, and I almost stopped playing. There was one part, for example, where you're in a tank and you're going through the city in a tank, and it's fine. And then you get to a part where there's 2 tanks coming at you, and it's like, oh crap, you gotta, blow past them. If they hit you twice, you blew up and died. And then you had to reload from the checkpoint, which was like a minute back. The thing is there's 2 tanks and if both of them fired and then it hit you, you died and it was over. So basically, you couldn't get hit, or you had to take out one of the tanks immediately. I had to retry like 22 times.
Stealth tank.
And I was,
fuck.
yeah, and I was on, yeah, I don't know. Can you turn the tank stealth? I know that your suit, you can go stealth, but I don't think you can turn the tank stealth, which
I guess the tank couldn't run Crisis.
No, it couldn't. It could not. And I almost uninstalled fucking Crisis because of this shit. I found it so hard. But then you get about halfway into the game, and I mean, I'm not gonna say anything that's overly spoiler, because also the story, I don't even know if I fully understand what the fuck's going on. But you get to a different point. You kind of wake up somewhere else in the city, and you're with a whole bunch of Marines, and it's kind of like you join the Marines and you're fighting against the alien invasion in the city. From there on, the game is like, I don't want to put it down. Excuse me. I almost played until like 3 a.m. because I was like, I don't want to stop. Like, I do not want to stop this game because it gets that good, both with story, and then the gameplay gets so much better because it's not just you. There's all these NPCs on your side. So all the aliens aren't just focused on you. Plus the other Marines are doing some actual damage to the other, to the aliens, to the enemies.
So it isn't just the NPCs that fire bullets that don't hit anything.
They actually, like, one of the bosses I was fighting, and I got them really low on health, and I was just looking for ammo, and then all of a sudden it was like the main boss was blowing up. I'm like, an NPC hit them for the final shot. I'm actually kind of pissed, but whatever. Like, at that point,
so you did all that work, and someone was like, bang.
Yeah, they got the final shot. I mean, they were firing the whole time, but they do so little in that sense. It's more that they help because if there's 30 aliens, there's like you and 15 maybe Marines. So everybody's shooting each other.
It diverts
the first half of the game. Yeah, the first half of the game is you only, and then like say 20 of these aliens or other soldiers and stuff, depending on where you're on the story. So it's kind of like, oh man, like like there was one level I had to beat by just cloaking and just walking to the end, and you couldn't run because if you ran, the energy for your suit ran out. So you had to cloak, go until you could find a hiding spot, stay there, energy come back, cloak, and I had to keep doing that through 1 or 2 levels because it was too hard. So first half of the game sucks. Second half, like, amazing. I can't wait to finish it. It's so good. Not as good as Crisis 1 because that was amazing the whole time, but like such a good game. Such a good game. I'm glad I finally got around to playing a fucking game from 2011 in my backlog. Another game I actually finished earlier today. I'm going back in because as an achievement hunter, there's 2 left, and those 2 fucking achievements are going back and getting the other ending. So I had to go back a bunch, and I'm replaying and making different decisions. I'm playing Tell Me Why. Adam, you played this maybe last year?
I knew he was going to do
that. Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure we did that to you too last year when you were talking about this. So you already played this, Vishal. This is a game by Don't Nod. It's the people who did like Life is Strange. They're like the choose your own adventure kind of games, much like the Walking Dead ones.
Oh, okay,
that kind of stuff. Yeah. Tell Me Why though. I loved it. And there was certain part, like I found there was a few plot holes at first until I got near the end of the game, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. It kind of makes sense now. But I mean, just
is this the one with the transsexual character?
Yes.
Yeah, the transgender, the guy on the left. It's him. Yeah. So they're twins, born obviously twin girls. The one I believe was named Ollie, transitions into Tyler.
There's also something like this in Last of Us 2 as well.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
there's a trans character in Last of Us.
Yeah, I thought
it's not Abby though.
Oh, okay. I thought they handled this so realistically and properly. Like it was like I thought maybe they'd end up going
without going the full negative too. Like, yeah, like they could have gone much worse, but they definitely did like the more like they don't know how to react kind of story.
Yeah, well, they had.
You said that like people complained that.
Yeah, people complained that they weren't harsh enough about it because they thought, oh, you got to be really dark about it. Like, you got to show how people like hate trans people. It's like, guys, not everything has to be that horrifying.
Yeah, I thought this was better because it's again another example of it being shown as a normalized subject, a normalized everything. You know what I mean? It's no longer like this is this hard thing and blah blah blah. It's kind of like, hey, look, there's people who accept this in a fucking rural Alaska or wherever the fuck they are, which would be a very difficult place, I would imagine, for anyone being transgender.
And from what I'm informed, like apparently what's it called? Alaska's very Republican, from what I hear.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that. Especially like in this game, you can see like there's a guy running for politics, and he's talking about.
I think the upside with that specific place is that it's a small town, so everybody knows everybody. So that's at least a good area where at least people kind of have to almost be nice, because it's like, look, everybody knows everybody. As soon as somebody's the asshole.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, I loved the story. I loved both the characters, obviously, and what they're going through, from whether it be obviously the main part of the story with their mother, which is the reason that a lot of the plot is happening. Again, don't want to spoil anything. It is a very new game, I believe. But also with the transgender stuff, and of course the mystery and plot behind what's going on in the background.
All the mystery is so good.
The first chapter got me hooked. I had just promised myself I would do one chapter a day, so I didn't overwhelmingly do it all in one go. I was trying to spread it out and play a couple games instead of just focus on
that never
one.
happened.
And I did. No, I did. Oh. I did chapter 1 2 days ago, chapter 2 yesterday, and today was chapter 3.
Chapter 1 ends on a great end too. Like chapter 1 really throws you a nice curveball.
So sorry, how many chapters are there?
Just 3.
There's only the 3, which I loved. I loved the fact that there was only 3 chapters instead of 5.
And they're all like 2-3 hours tops, so they don't take too much of your time either.
Yeah, it was to me a very welcome length, because I've found sometimes the one with 5 chapters, either chapter 3 or chapter 4, they almost feel like filler and they're just there to make the game be a certain length. Where here, each chapter, they were like, we got to get this story out and keep it moving. Like at no point did you feel like, oh, this is such filler, like fuck off. Like I thought the story flowed perfectly. It's a small town, so like it made sense when you'd have to go and talk to somebody and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't just thrown in. I thought the game was fantastic. I did love it. And Adam, oddly enough, you mentioned the ending of chapter 1. They have, so one thing the 2 kids have is when they were kids, they had like these make-believe stories and stuff, and they were called the something goblins. I can't remember, crafty goblins or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was cool because there was like a fairy princess in the stories and the goblins.
Sorry, this character with the goatee is the transgender character you're talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Like the young guy with not the beefy dude.
Not the beefy.
No. Oh, okay.
But yeah, like the concept that they had all these like fairy tale stories as kids, and they were called the goblins, and everybody in the stories are represented by people in the town and stuff. Like I also loved that approach of everything. I don't know. I really love the game, but there was the Mad Hunter, that evil thing, or that's from their stories.
Yeah, almost like this dark shadow of a thing.
Yeah, and then during chapter 1, you see that thing. Fuck that thing. What the fuck? It was like 1:30 in the morning when I was playing that. I see that happen, and then I go and lay in bed, turn off the lights, and all I could see was that creepy ass smile from that thing. I was like, I am 37 years old. I'm 37. This is
why am I scared?
A character from a video game. This is stupid. I've survived so much scarier shit. What the fuck? And a child story, like imaginary villain named the Mad Hunter just has a giant creepy smile, and I'm like, fuck child's imaginations. And
so Chris now sleeps with a knife under his pillow.
No, it only took me like 15-20 minutes and I got over it. But like that 15-20 minutes, I was like, dude, you're 37. Like, what the fuck? But it was creepy. It's fucking creepy that what kids' imaginations can turn into on fucking screen. But yeah, overall, like I have to give this game, minus again, there was a few like plot holes in the story, or I felt like maybe like they've portrayed one character as very mean and evil. And then like later on, not even an hour later in the game, they're portraying that person as being fairly nice to somebody else. And I'm like, you're giving me mixed signals here. It kind of made more sense later. But originally, before I finished the game, I was willing to actually take like a point or 2 off of my overall score, just because of those, what I thought were like plot holes, or just like not a proper flow of character development. But again, it did end up making sense in the story. So I have to give this game like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Like it's not perfect. Obviously, there's still some changes. The graphics were really nice, but obviously some of the character models and movements still felt like a little dated kind of thing. But yeah, like I loved this game. I was very, very happy with it, and I'm gonna go back and get that other ending and get 100% of it for the achievements.
So basically, you have to get the douche ending.
How many?
I have to get the douche ending. Yeah.
How many endings are there? Just 2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
There's like a good and a bad.
There's the acceptance ending and the fuck you ending, which is basically like so many games these days.
Yeah, I gotta go get the fuck you ending. Yeah. So I played one other game, and that is not going to take me long to talk about, because I don't even know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's called Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town.
Harvest Moon, baby!
It's a Harvest Moon game. So the farming game from back in the day. They ended up leaving. The developers left Natsume, who made Harvest Moon. Well, they made Harvest Moon, but under the publisher of Natsume. When they left, it turns out that the Harvest Moon name is still owned by Natsume. So now they still make games for it, but it's not the developers of the game. And the new Harvest Moon games aren't my favorite, so to speak. They're kind of weird and seem like mobile games all the time. However,
they haven't made a good Harvest Moon game since like PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation. This game is actually a remake, I guess, of a Game Boy Advance game. They just upped the graphics and put it on PC and Switch. And this is now, instead of Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town, it's Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, because the developers who left kept the rights to the subtitle of all the games, but not the name Harvest Moon.
It's weird how that
works.
They
changed to their... Yeah, so they changed over to their, I think it was in Japan, they were known as Story of Seasons. They were allowed to end up using that name or something. It was such a fucked up debauchery. But basically, if you loved Harvest Moon back on N64, PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, you want to find the Story of Seasons games that come out now because it's the developers there.
Basically, if you like Stardew Valley, play this now.
Yes, and I had my choice of getting this on PC or Switch, but I had a bunch of Switch dollars, Switch gold coins, or whatever the fuck it's called in the store that expired at the end of the year. And this went on sale for their winter sale down to like $35, down from 60 or 70 or whatever the fuck games are worth now. And I ended up picking up for free because of all the money I had left. So not only did I get the game for free on Switch, it makes so much sense to play like a farming simulator on the Switch, in the sense where you take it on the go. This is definitely something you play in bed and then go to sleep, or when you wake up in the morning and you're on a boring work meeting you don't want to be in, throw this on. It's perfect on Switch. Yes, basically everyone where you can play Switch and no one sees. But yeah, it totally makes sense to have this one on the go, especially for the Switch. You can throw it on the TV if you need. But if this was cheap enough, I'd probably grab it on. I'm a huge Harvest Moon fan from back in the day, so I could see this being something I randomly grab on both, just because it's like I want to support this game for everything.
Especially if you got it free,
it's
then
a
you're
lot
like, screw it, I might as well give him some money then.
Exactly. So yeah, like it's a simple game, but it's a fantastic game. I do love it. And then lastly, the only thing I've been doing, not even a game, is AGDQ is on. The Awesome Games Done Quick.
Yeah, last time I checked earlier today, they were around 530,000. They're probably above 600 at this point, I would imagine.
Yep, I've already thrown in my $20 donation, and I'm going to buy I'm torn between the charity t-shirt or hoodie, because I already have a hoodie from an AGDQ, but I mean, I also have like 8 t-shirts, so I'm torn. I have a favorite run already. There is a runner who you can find on Twitch named Arlick, and he's from Scotland. He speaks so fast and so awesomely. He's like the greatest personality besides the three of us on the internet. No, not Erlich. Arlick with an A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so close, right?
You should have known right away when he said he was Scottish.
Yeah, I know that when he said Arlick, and then I was like, okay, it's not my nephew. I kind of reacted.
There are 7 billion plus people on the planet, Vish.
Yeah,
I'm aware, but it's pretty close. Okay.
He's a Sonic the Hedgehog runner, and he runs Sonic Mania. He speaks so fast, he sounds like he's one of those auctioneer guys. But it's such a bubbly, happy personality. Oh my god! So I actually watch him on Twitch because I found him on Summer Games Done Quick, And then I ended up following him, found out he was on. I happened just to be working from home and had my laptop open because I've had the streams going. They had the Sonic block come up, so all the Sonic games. Sonic, 2 people in a row got world record for their Sonic games in a row. And then Arlick came on. He didn't get world record for like a trifecta, but man, like that was such a good set of game runs. I loved it. Oh my God. And then this morning, a good run was I was watching a guy play through Golden Sun on Game Boy Advance. I'd never seen that before. It was like
such
4-hour
an
speed
RPG
run.
too.
I'd never actually seen gameplay of it. Just the music alone in that makes me want to play it. If that came out on Switch, if they like put out just the Game Boy Advance version, just move it up to 720p or whatever you'd need to do to make it look a little nicer, just because it's a much bigger screen. Like I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Like take that game, make it like $15, throw it on Switch eShop. I'd buy it right away. It's so good. Damn, I loved it. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. AGDQ and those 3 games.
All right, well, I guess that leaves me.
What about you?
So
Radical.
I'm not going to start my full review of Persona 5 Royal because that's in the can, but I do want to quickly talk about what I'm doing right now, which is something I didn't expect to do right away, but I had a couple extra tax checks that I hadn't cashed in yet, and I was bored as fuck, so I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? What's that? Trails of Cold Steel is back on 25% off for the complete edition? I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. I don't give a shit anymore. Because I was on such a JRPG kick after playing Persona 5 Royal. I needed more in my veins. So I was just like, screw it, let's do another 100+ hour game. Let's fucking go. So yeah, I've been playing Trails of Cold Steel 4 now. I'm probably like 10-15 hours in, and I haven't done shit. Shit.
So it's nothing you like. It's like I remember like the previous game, like you loved it by the like so far, but so far it's like it seems like nothing significant. There hasn't been like a turning point or anything.
There's a lot that's happened. It's just going real slow because it's like, dude, this is good. You're gonna be here a while. Enjoy everything that you can. I'm like, okay, because the Trails games in a nutshell are like the most lore heavy JRPGs you will ever play. It's a lot of talking. Like, you know how traditionally in games, if you go into a random ass house in a village, you more or less just go searching for treasure? You just go breaking shit, just trying to find stuff. In Trails, you just talk to everybody. So there's no like going into people's houses and rummaging through their underwear drawers. No, it's just you're just constantly talking, getting all these stories about like what every NPC is doing. Because right now in Trails 4, like it's full out war about to start. So everybody's freaking out about conscription. They're freaking about oh, like my family. What's this gonna mean for my business? What's this mean for the world? Is like everything gonna end? You're getting all these little bits of information to go along with this major overarching story that's been not even created for 3 games with Cold Steel, but technically for, 10 games now with 3 Cold Steel games. Oh, sorry, math is really, really fucking hard. So far,
at least
8 prior games, because there was 3 Cold Steel games, 2 Crossbell games, which were the Trails to Azure games, and then 3 of the Trails in the Sky games. So technically, this has been an 8-game-long story that's really been like, I think between the 8 games combined, I think it's only like 5 years, maybe.
Okay.
The entire story in between.
I kind of lost track of like the way it was going. So, Trails of Cold Steel 4 is the 8th game in a series.
It's technically the 9th game of the entire series, and it doesn't.
Is this entire series Trails of Cold Steel? Or
no, it's called Legends of Heroes. Trails of Cold Steel is like, it's almost like how there's Dragon Ball and then there's Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. It's like it's all game-wise, one long ass story. It's just this is this arc.
Okay, so is it like, I'm talking game terms right now? Is it like Call of Duty for Modern Warfare, and then all of a sudden it's like Modern Warfare 2? Is it kind of like that?
No, because it would be like if Modern Warfare had 4 games and then Black Ops 3 came out and Black Ops 3 was also related to Modern Warfare.
Okay, so they're like side stories. It's like the Arrowverse on...
to sum it up, Legends of Heroes, apparently everything is always going to shit because in the span of 3 different series within it, and 9 games now, there are these massive fucking war events that all take place in the same world. So apparently, the entirety of this world is just constantly on the brink of destruction.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's one long ass story. So that's why I probably said during all the time I was playing Trails of Cold Steel 3, you kind of need to do research going into these games because there's a lot of story. Like you can play Cold Steel and be fine. You're just gonna miss a few references. Whereas, like, if you understand the references and all these people just randomly show up, you're like, oh shit, it's that guy from that game. Like, it's just like random shit that comes across like that.
I think I asked this before, but just so I make sure I understand it, is it Trails in the Sky or Trails of Cold Steel that comes first?
Sky is first, then Trails to Azure, and then now Trails of Cold Steel. So it's a constantly moving timeline. There's no like this game is actually 3 years before this. This is Metal Gear Solid. So
okay, because I have Trails of the
it's
Sky or whatever it's
going
called.
Forward.
Okay, I have the Sky one, and I was going to do the Sky series and then Cold Steel.
Yeah, like the next series that they've already started announcing and
like
producing for Japan is now another
hours.
thing.
That's so many hundreds of hours.
Yeah, when you're like, I'm going to start from Trails in the Sky, I'm like, well, good luck. You're never catching up.
So Chris's goal of 70 plus games this year is not going to happen.
Yeah, Chris is going to finish 5 games this year.
Yeah, what I got to do is like have Trails of in the Sky or whatever as a game I'm going to be playing for a while, and then just have games on the side. So I'll have to
you
just
got to
not
start
focus
searching
on
for
one
2-hour
time.
games.
Yeah, hey guys, beat 1,000 games. God, my
or just play all the Call of Duty campaigns.
No, those
they're
too long. They're too long. It's more than 4 hours. You can't do
like
them.
6 hours.
Oh, you know what? Download all the old arcade games, like the Ninja Turtles arcade game.
No, those take forever because they intentionally make it hard. What are you talking about?
No, they're hard in the arcade, but at home, they're not that hard.
Or if you put cheat codes, maybe.
Infinity continues.
They're also not in my backlog, so I'd just be adding to my backlog to play a short game. That's the opposite of what I want.
But anyways, I mean, like, I can't really explain this game unless it's like somebody who's been already like playing the series. As a JRPG series, like the Trails games are becoming like my favorite period because they actually know how to do story right. Because as much as we like to talk about Final Fantasy and shit, Final Fantasy can't write a fucking story to save their life anymore. Whereas Trails has not only just crafted 4 now solid games in terms of stories, but they've made 9 fucking games all make sense and come together. There's shit from the original game that's coming out into this game, and it's overflowing into it, and it's all made sense. Like anybody who is really deep into this entire series will tell you that they've done a fantastic job at tying everything together. It's not just, oh, this person's just here because reasons. No, there's legitimate reasons why they're there.
Is it as like they streamline it pretty decently, unlike what's that one series? Drawing a blank here. Kingdom Hearts. Is it like?
Oh no, it's not intentionally confusing. No.
Okay, so this isn't a confusing story.
No, it's not confusing at all. And in fact, it's pretty easy to resonate with because, I mean, at least with Cold Steel, because that's where my experience lies, it's all about rich versus poor. It's easy as fuck to get behind that shit. So
yeah, easy.
The core of it is not hard to get behind. It's just once you get into more of the crazy like referencing back and forth of all these different characters and events that have happened, it does get confusing if you've never played the prior games. That's why I did a little bit of research just so I at least understood, okay, that's who that person is. Oh, that's what happened at this point. Okay, that's what they mean. Because like in 3, for example, there's one specific story that's pretty fucking heavy, but it isn't as heavy if you don't know from the original games what it had to do with anything. If you played Sky, this specific event in 3 is really fucking serious. Whereas it's still serious if you don't know the context. It's just a hell of a lot more serious when you know who's involved. So, but as for 4, like the 15 hours that I've played of it thus far, it's the same thing that I would come to expect from Trails to begin with. It's just now everything's on the table and now it's time to save the fucking world. So now everything's getting in real overdrive. And right now it's just early enough in the game that it's calm before the fucking storm hits because it's coming and I know it's coming. It's just a matter of when. So, I mean, at this point, I can't really say much beyond it because, like, I'm not even into the meat and potatoes of it yet because it's still very much in the you're getting your feet wet and grinding levels out again. Once the story really starts moving again, oh boy, is it's going to be fun because there's a lot of shit.
Okay, so all I got to do is figure out...
Do you think that's going to happen in the, like, soon or more? Do you think it's
I
gonna be
would
like more
probably
like
imagine
20,
I won't
30
be talking about how amazing the story gets until 2 or 3 podcasts from now, because the second half is when it's going to turn. And in Trails games, notoriously, the first act is always very lengthy because it's trying to get you really, especially if you haven't played the games from the moment 3 release all the way to 4, you need that time to kind of get reacclimatized again. So it's going to be like 40, 50 hours of me grinding levels and going through all the stuff and relearning everybody's fucking name and what this is and what this is coming and like all the shit that I'm going to need to know so that when the fucking turn happens, I'm ready. And it does a good job of that. Then. It does a good job of getting you back into everything. Like by the time that I get to that point, I'll remember who everybody is. I'll know most of the backstory that I need to, and it'll be good to go.
Perfect. All I got to do is figure out how to speed run those games in 4 hours a piece, and I'm great.
Good fucking. You know what is the speed run record?
Is there a speed run for this fucking game?
No. Oh, let's see. Okay. Legends of Heroes series speedrun.com. Okay. Let's see. So Trails in the Sky. So game number 1, fastest time. It says there are no runs. That's a bad sign. Okay, let's go with Trails of Cold Steel 3. Okay. This must be like not completing it. It must be like hacking something, because apparently the record for Trails of Cold Steel is 2.5 hours, which is impossible. There must be like some sort of hacking involved.
So Adam,
or you like there's a glitch. Yeah.
You don't think the story is really going to pick up like significantly until like maybe like 50 hours?
Not that the story isn't going to pick up. It's that the story itself isn't going to have like the real heavy meat and potatoes until later on. It's getting you. It's buttering you up. The first act of this game is always reintroducing and getting you like ready for the turn. It's preparation.
So right now you're eating.
I'm eating the appetizer.
You're eating salmon and sweet potatoes. You're waiting for steak and fucking baked potatoes right now with sour cream.
Yes.
And bacon.
Also, the game is anime as fuck, so there's a lot of milkers going on, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
A lot of big fucking milkers.
I still don't understand.
Boobies, you fucking dumbass.
Oh, okay.
And also,
I actually was thinking like farmers like beep.
And I guess speaking of boobies, I might as well move into my other game, which is Persona. Because there'd be a lot of boobies in that game. So.
Oh, yeah.
So 150 hours it took me. 150 hours it took to go through that game. And it was probably it probably would have been 120-ish had it not been for what Royal is, which adds a whole nother section to the game. So. I grossly underestimated how long the last dungeon that was added on in this version would take, because I spent a lot more time than I thought I would. I'm like, I'm nearly at the end. Okay, this will be another like 5 to 10 hours, and then 20, 30 hours later, I'm like, oh, this was a lot more than I was expecting. So, for those who obviously aren't aware of Persona, because if you probably missed the last time I talked about it, Persona right now is probably what Final Fantasy was in the 2000s, like late 90s. It's the creme de la creme for JRPGs now. And what Persona does better than anybody else is it makes it more than just fight magic item level JRPG stuff. There is not only a story that is willing to go out there and tackle real life issues that are very, very difficult and rarely seen in games. They also have this unbelievable way of crafting not only a really good hardcore JRPG in terms of its battle mechanics, in terms of grinding levels, all the items you have to find, all the strategies you have to use, and then somehow with that game also have this like life simulator thing where you go to class, you want to rank up your stats like knowledge and kindness and guts and charm, and then make friends. And if you make friends, the certain level you hit with that friend, they might unlock more abilities or things you can do. Like, for example, on the screen right now, you can see the girl with blue hair here on the stream. She's a doctor. The more levels you unlock, the more medicine she'll sell you, and then eventually you might get discounts. Hot doctor. Yes, she is a very hot doctor.
I was gonna say, that's a doctor?
Punk rock doctor, man. So and like, for example, whenever you visit her, you always get points in your guts because she's using you to try a clinical medicine that she's trying out. So you're drinking like the mystery fucking cup of medicine. So that also helps too. It benefits you in that way. And as you level her up, you unlock more medicines, like better HP raising medicine, more revival medicine, stuff like that. And there's like other characters, like any of your party members. If you level up your party members, they'll do things like they'll protect you from certain attacks. They might knock status ailments off of you if you get inflicted with them, and like stuff like that. And then it goes even to other things. Like there's one character who is like this master, or not master, but like really good shogi player. And the more you level up with her, you get crazy abilities. Like in the beginning of the game, you can't switch party members out. Whoever you go into a dungeon with, unless you go all the way to the back of the dungeon and redo your party, you can't do it. When you rank up with her, you can do things like switch your fucking members out during battle, which is game changing in that game, especially when weaknesses, kind of like what Pokemon does with like everything has to be super effective. It is so helpful to not have to have, like, you have to be very careful on which guys you bring in, because if you can just be like, all right, fuck, you go in and fix the problem, it solves all that problem. So like spending time with these people instead of just grinding levels and just trying to focus on the story really benefits you, because it makes the game so much better for you, because it really fleshes everything out. You get all these new items, all these cool weapons, all these things that will make things even easier for you, especially if on a New Game Plus run, where like let's say you play this game normally. That's why I said the last time, do a guide. If you only plan on playing this game once, do a 100% guide, because you will never get everything done. If I didn't play with a guide, because so many things can matter, and like the scene that you're seeing right now, you get options to say things. If you say the wrong thing, you don't get as many points. So like you could get certain points to go into the rank ups. So like if you say something and you get like one music note, that's not as good as if you say something and it gets two. You want to say the right thing. So with that guide, it gives you, okay, this is when you go see that person, this is what you have to say, and it gets everything ranked up to the point that everything is done by the time you finish one game. If I didn't use the guide, I'd be lucky if I got half of it. Because you gotta know when to time things, you gotta know what the right thing is to say, and if you don't, you miss a lot. And as somebody who doesn't really plan on playing a 150-hour game twice, especially not immediately, I don't like missing out on content. So I know there are people that are gonna think I'm playing the game wrong, but I play with a guide because I want to experience everything. And especially with some of the stories that these side characters have, there's some pretty heavy shit in even these side stories. I wouldn't want to miss that stuff for the fucking world, because there's some really interesting shit in there too. Like, what's a good example?
You're selling me on freaking Persona.
There is one character that is introduced in the expansion here with Royal, that is your one new party member, and she goes through some serious shit that you kind of want to rank her up to get to the end too. There's some pretty crazy stuff that happens with her. That's just one thing. Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, the differences are mostly pretty straightforward. It's a lot of new content. They added 2 new people that you can rank up. They added things like you get a grappling hook, so they changed the complexity of the levels a little bit, so there's more of a verticality to it instead of just running around corners trying to find the door. Now there's like, get this grappling hook, go flying across the map, and you bypass certain things. They definitely changed some of the layouts a little bit differently, so it actually, if you've already played the original game and you play this, it still feels kind of fresh. But the most thing that I can take away from it is still the story and the story alone. And I think I said the last time I talked about this game that I really didn't connect very well to the first time I played it. This time it did not even just well. It did to the point that like I actually was really, really, really fucking emotionally like scarred for a moment, because the final 2 dungeons of the game legitimately are how I feel right the fuck now. And I know that I probably am going to end up at some point.
Is not good.
I'm probably at some point going to make a video where it's just going to be me going through like how so much of the story resonates with me, and just go piece by piece. Like, this is what this dungeon does for me. This is what this dungeon does. Because what the last 2 dungeons do, without really spoiling them, is they kind of show humanity at its worst, and then show humanity at like what we wish we could have. Like, it really takes a realistic look on what we are and what we wish to be.
Wow, that's deep.
The canon final dungeon of the original game is basically like my depression, and then the new dungeon that was introduced in this expansion in Royal is kind of like my dream, really. So it's like me at my worst, and then me that I wish I would just pull me out of my worst. So those two things combined just made me go, oh, this fucking hurts every fiber of me right now.
Damn.
There's one specific quote that the end boss says that I literally screenshot and sent to my girlfriend and said, this is fucking me right now, and that scares me right now. So yeah, if you're looking for a JRPG and you want to be blown the fuck away, well, you should have already played Persona 4 on Steam, which would have been a good place to start.
How many hours did you put into it?
150 in total, which probably would have been more like 120 if it was the original game, but...
Okay.
So it definitely added a lot. It really did.
What was the completion percentage? Does it show, or...?
I think I got all but I think I did like 90% of the achievements. I mean, generally, like, in terms of the content of the game, like I maxed out all my stats. My level's 99. I got a bunch of personas at 99. Your summons, all the characters are ranked up completely. Like I got all the story. Like story wise, everything's done. Story wise, everything is done. The only thing I missed was like maybe like a few achievements here and there that would have had me going out of my way. But like in terms of story, I did everything. I got everything out of it.
One of the achievements
Right.
has to be...
I just want to...
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say...
I just wanted to make sure, because if you put that much, I'd be hoping you got at least 95% out of the game.
I mean, like in terms of all the stuff I could have done, it was probably more like 85, but in terms of story, it was 100% 100. Like, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm assuming one of the achievements is... I was going to say, one of the achievements, I bet, is complete the game's New Game Plus. You got to do it all again.
That wouldn't surprise me, or complete on a certain difficulty or something like that, but...
Yeah. Go do it again.
I know a couple of things I didn't do. I didn't read every book. I didn't play every video game because you can collect video games and they also help rank up your stats. There's a lot of stuff that eventually I did, because there comes a certain point in the guide where it just is free time because you finally did everything. So now you can just do whatever the fuck you want. I just kept going to the gym because it ranks up your HP and SP. So my character is just stupid fucking high level HP. Like, I think by the end of the game, my guy's HP was like 700 something, and every other character in the game is like 400 HP. So I'm basically coming in here all fucking swole, just being like, hit me, I dare you.
You're John Wick.
Oh, that's so good.
Because the one beauty, too, and the reason why I wanted my SP up as well, too, is every party member has one element. So, like, one person will be thunder, one person will be wind. But you, as the main character, you're what's called the wild card, or you work under the Fool Arcana, because there's a lot of tarot. Is it tarot or tarot? Like the cards. Tarot? Is it tarot cards?
I think it's tarot.
Tarot.
Yeah, so there's a lot of tarot influence.
I think
every character is modeled off of something. Like there's the Fool, the Magician, the Chariot, everything's modeled off of those, off the Arcana.
I think it's actually like historically pronounced tarot.
Either way.
Either way, I think it's
most
nonsense,
of them are pretty fitting. Like there's a couple of them where it's like, I don't know if I call you the devil, but
you're fucking close to it, motherfucker.
But like you as the Fool or the wild card, you can have X amount of personas. So at the start of the game, you can get as many as 6. I think by the end of the game, you can get up to 12. So you can have all the elements at your disposal if you want. So by the end of the game, I only really needed 2. I had one which was basically immune to all but 2 elements. So everything would either give me health back or just null it. And all he did was he had one attack that was just really strong physical damage. And if physical damage wasn't allowed, then I would just put the other character on who was only weak to like 4 things and had the best magic attack in the game and had everything boosted to shit, so it would just be crazy like that. By the end of it, you can really fuck with stuff. And there's some great designs to Personas too. Good lord, those designs in that game are crazy. Actually, you know what?
It's giving me a lot of flashbacks of...
I'm going to see if I can pull it up on stream here.
No, the one, it was an anime game on the PlayStation.
Yeah, there's all you need to know.
Fear Effect.
There's the one persona you need to know about, which is the one that looks like a fucking dick on a cart.
What? Oh my god, it is. That's not the flashbacks I was getting. I was thinking of like Fear Effect from PlayStation.
But there's some legit like cool designs. Like there's Thor and Odin are part of it. So like
so is a giant dick with tentacles.
So like there's
not
Thor,
testicles, tentacles.
And then where's
It's
Odin?
a dick on a card.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would fuck the shit out of Odin in this game. Not gonna lie. Odin's pretty fucking hot.
Those leg muscles, holy shit!
I'm jealous of the leg muscles, but I don't think I'm gonna fuck Odin.
I'll fuck it. I'll fuck the god. I'm okay with fucking god. Screw it. Oh, and yeah, in every JRPG fashion, of course the game's. Of course the game starts. Shut up, Vish. I'm talking. Shut up, Vish.
Odin's gonna fuck you.
Vish, shut the fuck up. In typical JRPG fashion,
Odin's gonna fuck you.
I'm going to fucking mute you.
It's true though.
In typical JRPG fashion, you start out in the most unimaginative way possible, and yes, at the end of the game, I had to kill God. Yes, that's exactly what I had to fucking do.
Of course you did.
Did you punch him for 2020?
No, I shot him in the fucking head. That's what I did.
For 2020, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, wait, did I finish that part in 2020? I think that boss I did in 2020.
Okay, good.
JRPG first quest: go gather 3 eggs from local chickens. Final quest: kill God. It's always
the
like
sequel
that.
comes out.
It's always
first
like
mission.
That.
Can you find my lost puppy? End of the kill new God. But yeah, to really sum it up, it's still not my favorite Persona game, but I think it's probably the one that like resonated with me the most. And most games don't resonate me at the level that Persona 5 did. But like, if there's any game that really does like everything right, it's probably like, I almost equate it to what I do with Final Fantasy. I've probably said it 1,000 times on the show, but I'll say it again. Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy. It's not the best one though. Final Fantasy VI is the best Final Fantasy. I think Persona 4 might be my favorite, and Persona 5 might actually be the best Persona game.
Good way of putting it. And they're the 2 I have access to, so
yeah. So
I'll do it.
If you are a JRPG person and you want a game that's you're going to get your fucking money's worth, yeah, this is where you go. And it's also anime as fuck. So if you like anime titties, it's a double plus. So
what if you just like titties? Is that okay?
You'll still manage.
Oh, okay.
You'll manage.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah.
You'll
be fine.
There's a few. You'll be good.
Oh, actually, funny. I'll go back to The Last of Us too right now. Like, there's this one pretty graphic sex scene in it. And
yeah, there is.
Like people were complaining about like they're calling Abby a transsexual, but Abby is a muscular woman. And
yeah, they can't imagine what a girl looks like, when she's got muscle on her and she's naked.
No. So what happens is I found this out earlier, like last year or maybe in 2019. Implants are a big part of the fitness community. Because what happens is when women work out and they work out their chest, their boobs become pecs. And when they become pecs, they become flat. So they lose their boobs. So a lot of fitness
nothing wrong
women,
with flat chests.
No, a lot of women end up getting in the fitness industry, in the fitness environment, end up getting implants because they lose their boobs. One example is
I don't need an example.
Yeah, we don't need an example.
Of fucking like I just talked about anime titties, and you want to go on a rant about fitness
models
models
I'm
getting
just
implants.
saying, Paige Van Zandt in UFC, she has implants.
Hate you, Jesus goddamn Christ!
I'm aware of that.
We're on a gaming show. Can we stop talking about fucking?
Okay.
By the
I'm
way,
talking about titties still.
No. This has nothing to do with gaming anymore.
So basically, Abby, when they showed her in that sex scene, she showed her boobs. But there wasn't much. It was more of pecs. But it's a lot of people don't realize like when females work out significantly into the way Abby is built, she ends up losing a lot of her boobs because they become pecs, not boobs. So it happens like that.
This message has been brought to you by Vishal Singh, nobody else. Yeah, no. I've seen that sex scene. It's just awkward. It's awkward as fuck. Anyways, what's not awkward is hopefully 2021, which is a year.
Yeah, I feel like that's you're making a presumption there that we cannot confirm nor deny yet about 2021.
I'm really fucking hoping that is.
It started with an almost civil war. So
I thought we weren't going to talk about this on the show. I thought we all agreed at the beginning that we weren't going to do that. Isn't it shocking?
But you know what we will talk
about? Of
about?
all people that broke the rule, it's Vishal. What a fucking surprise. What we are going to talk about, though, is what we're looking forward to in 2021, which is a lot and also nothing at the same time because barely fucking anything's been announced yet. So if we kept it to stuff announced for this year, the list is like 0 because almost nothing's been dated still. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's a pandemic going on. There's a lot of unassurity going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
So our list is not limited to things announced for this year. It's limited to anything that we're just kind of interested in getting to some point. So I'm going to start with the joke one, which is Cyberpunk 2077. I can't wait to play that game. It looks really good, guys. I can't wait.
It's funny. That's on my list, too. That is absolutely on my list,
I can't wait to see what this long-awaited game is going to look like when it finally gets finished.
I put it on my list, but I specifically put PS5 edition.
Yeah, in all seriousness, I don't plan on playing it at least till the upgrade's done, and I might even still wait after that because I might want to wait and see how people are reacting to that. Because who knows, they might have half-assed the fucking upgrade too. So I kind of want to be ready to play this when it's actually good to go. So that's the one. The one serious one I'll do right away is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition because I'm actually really curious about going back and playing the original trilogy, but actually looking good. I just hope. As the one aside, I just really hope that they upgrade the gameplay a little bit on the original Mass Effect because it's pretty dated. I tried to get back into the trilogy maybe 2019, and I couldn't do it because the first game, it's so archaic in retrospect. There's some mechanics in that game that just, like the planet exploration stuff, it's so boring. It's so boring. It's so hard to get into it. The story's so good, but it's so boring.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that edition before I start the Mass Effect series.
Yeah, so that's the first one for me. So, Chris, what's the first thing you got?
So first one I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'll go with this one. I'm actually excited for a game that should have come out, I guess, last year, and was one of the reasons I wanted an Xbox. Halo Infinite. I'm hopefully gonna see that this year. I'm hoping it does come out, and it isn't.
I think a lot of
again.
Xbox fans are crossing their fingers that it does soon too. They're all sitting there be like, please, in the first half of this year, please.
Yeah, like if it weren't for Game Pass, Xbox would be dead right now. They would be in such a bad way. But yeah, like Halo Infinite, how much I loved the Halo series. It was my number 2 game of the year last year. The Master Chief Collection.
I was gonna say, yeah, it probably does help that you just played through basically the entire series, so you're pretty hooked now.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't.
Yeah, because I played. Actually, I don't think
you've gotten to Halo 5 at this point because they wouldn't have put it out yet, right?
No, I did play Halo 5 on the Xbox when I got it. Yeah, I didn't play like a PC version. It's not coming to PC. They're not adding it to the Master Chief Collection. It's not included for some reason. I don't know why.
Money.
But I did end up playing it. So I'm ready for Halo, I guess 6, which is Infinite. Looks good. I mean, I'm looking at the older games and then seeing what they could do with current technology, and I'm hoping it will be good.
All right.
That's what I want.
I'm going to try to guess Vishal's first thing that he's thinking about, because I feel like it might involve a certain guy with a hammer.
What do you know? Look over there. Adam is definitely correct. You know what? I'm gonna go through all my games.
We're gonna go back and forth one at a time. So just start with like the one you're probably looking forward to the most right now.
Adam, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you the honors and say which game it is.
So I'm assuming it's gonna be God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Which oddly enough, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm looking forward to a God of War game this year.
Yeah, me too. That's on my list.
Actually, you know what? Quickly asking Adam, what would you give God of War out of 10?
Like the new one? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what I said. I think I gave it an 8. I might be wrong though. Okay. It was either an 8 or a 9. I definitely loved it.
Okay. No, I just so right now, like video game wise, I haven't looked too deep into 2021 yet, because frankly there hasn't been a lot announced for it. So that is definitely on my top 3. I only have 3 that I'm exceptionally looking forward to, and one of them is kind of like I kind of need to look forward to it because I haven't played the original yet, or enough of the original yet. So definitely, Adam, you are correct. And I'm just waiting for the trailer to come out because, for one thing, especially with Marvel, we all love Thor in general. And
yeah, how are you gonna feel when you got to beat the shit out of Thor now?
I'm gonna have to look at it like, you know what, this is not Marvel.
You're not gonna win though. He's strongest Avenger. You can't beat him.
He's not an Avenger this time though.
No, he's the Revenger. Actually, no, Kratos, I guess, would more be the Revenger at this point.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. It's like this is the thing. It's like you know what? I'm not even gonna. I'm trying to disattach Thor God of War from Thor Marvel because, frankly, we all love Thor in Marvel. We all have a man crush on Thor in Marvel. So right now it's like I'm trying to disconnect the both of them. So I don't know what's. I'm looking forward to it, and that's definitely the game I'm probably looking forward to the most in 2021.
That's probably like the big one for people too. Like aside from Horizon, which I'll get into when it's my turn again.
Okay.
Yeah, no, God of War is definitely that game where it's like, man, like. That's probably like the biggest game that people are looking forward to.
Well, when the PS3 first came out, God of War was like the first game that everyone's like, "Oh, I gotta get a fucking PS3 now." So I think this is gonna happen with God of War Ragnarok as well.
Yeah. So I guess that would bring it back to me next, then, which would be Horizon Forbidden West, which is probably the game I'm looking the most forward to for sure. Just because obviously like Horizon is one of the very few like 10 out of 10 games I played on the PS4, and given what we've seen so far in the trailers, seems like now I really want them to put out a gameplay trailer soon. If the game's coming out this year, I want a gameplay trailer because I at least want to see what the underwater is going to look like, because that's the only thing. I think the fact that it's going underwater is really fucking cool, but I want to know that the combat, if there is any combat in the water, is not going to suck, because that's my one worry. Water combat is always difficult.
You guys skip me on this one because that's one of my games as well.
Once you actually... Oh, wait, well, I don't think... You still haven't played much of the first one.
No, I it's definitely going to be one of the...
So realistically, you're looking forward to actually playing Horizon and probably by proxy Forbidden West.
Yeah, but from what I hear, it's coming out for both. It's coming out for PS4 and PS5.
Well, yeah, it has to.
Yeah, this one is for both, yeah.
Or not, it has to. I really do believe that they initially were going to just make it PS5 specific, and as soon as the pandemic hit, they realized, man, we should probably downgrade this, because there's going to be a lot of people that can't afford a new console right now.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people that were so upset about that. It's like, why are they making Miles Morales and all these games fucking on PS4 too? I'm like, because I think most people need something to fucking do right now.
And honestly, I remember when we were, for example, for Miles Morales, when we were first watching the trailer for Miles Morales, we saw how amazing it was streaming between cutscene to gameplay. It was doing just as good on the PS4. The only thing that was different was when you died, you had to start it over.
Oh, believe me, if you played it on PS4 and then went right back and played it on the PS5, you'd notice the difference. It's probably still even better, even with the small stuff.
I'm pretty sure, but I don't think it's...
Oh, no, it would have to be. It's an SSD. It's going to get the information so much faster. Like, literally, I'm playing Trails of Cold Steel.
The loading time... Okay, fair enough.
I'm literally playing a game that was designed for, I think, like PS3 that got released on PS4 and Trails of Cold Steel 4. And normally, if you fast travel on that game, you're sitting at a loading screen for 10-15 seconds, and it's instant. And it's not even an upgraded version. It's just running faster because the SSD is retrieving that information quicker.
That was also one flaw I found with The Last of Us 2, was that when you died and you had to, or when the game loaded up, you had to wait about 30 seconds to a minute.
And that ain't a problem anymore if you got a PS5.
I get that.
Not at all.
And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the fact that they're saving us time, because frankly, time is the most important currency in our lives. No matter who you are, no matter
unless you play JRPGs, in which case you're okay with literally losing your entire life to a game.
Fair enough. But I appreciate that they're looking at that. My only thing is like I found that the wait times for Miles Morales on the PS4. I finished that game in one day.
Yeah, because it's a short game.
Yeah, but it's also like I didn't like between the cutscene to go to gameplay. There wasn't that bad.
Okay,
there was no delay.
I'm going back to Horizon because I didn't intend to have a 5-minute conversation on load times. So
Okay.
that's the one thing with Horizon that I'm like I said I'm concerned with is just they're getting really expansive, and I have to hope that means they can transfer it seamlessly. Now I trust Sony because most of their first party stuff has been fucking impeccable, but it's like anything else. You try not to hype. Okay, sorry. I shouldn't say you try to hype. Like it's I try it because the general gaming public is fucking notorious for hype training. I try not to overhype it because it was the same with the original Horizon. I thought on paper this looked like such a fucking cool game, and I was worried it wasn't going to be that great. And I went into Horizon thinking that. It's just the same reason that I'll go into Horizon Forbidden West and be like, okay, this might not be as good as the first game. It might be actually worse. They might have fucked something up. I don't know. The story might kind of suck. So it's like anything else. I'm going and being like, just be fun and I'll be okay. Just don't make Aloy out to be a bitch and we're good. Don't fuck up my new gaming waifu. Don't fuck that up for me, please.
Dude, do not fuck her up like they fucked up Ellie. She was such a bitch.
I don't think Aloy can be that bitchy though.
Fair,
no, I don't.
The only way she's that bitchy is if you make her that bitchy. If you
want.
Pick the option that makes her be bitchy.
Yeah.
In which case, it's your fault.
But it's also Horizon is rated T, where Last of Us is rated M. So
there's no boobies in Horizon either, because like the most you get in terms of all the outfits in the first game was just her midriff. So.
In all fairness,
it's a good midriff though. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice muscle.
Oh, it is.
Oh, good God! It's glorious. But all I'm saying is like with even with The Last of Us 2,
she got washboard abs,
like
yo.
4 seconds of boobies. That's it.
Well, yeah, because they had to put in some boobies just to make you forget that you just slaughtered a shit ton of people and animals. Anyways. But yeah, Horizon is going to be really fucking cool, and I can't wait to see how that shit looks in 4K, because God, that game is beautiful even in 1080p.
Yes, it is.
So that brings it back to Chris.
I'm just to finish off with Horizon. I'm actually super excited. That was actually my number one for 2021, just because Horizon was my game of the year last year, because I just played it on the PC version. So Horizon's going to be fucking glorious, I hope. So I'm actually out because you guys have mentioned all the other games I had that are coming out this year. I had Halo, Horizon, God of War, and oddly enough, Cyberpunk, the PS5
I feel like
edition.
I'm going to go through my list then as time goes on. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that game. Also, you're full of shit. There's there's one game on my list that I can't believe you haven't mentioned.
Really? I probably just forgot it.
Should I do it for you then?
Yes. Yeah.
Do it when it's my turn, because my next game was Horizon. So I'm gonna let you.
Well, no, because if you have another game on your list, it'll be your turn. So for Chris, since apparently he has no list.
Yeah.
Wait, do you not have a list now, or
let's hear
all yours done too?
Okay, I have 4 games on my list.
Okay.
So by all means, if you want to take my turn, I'm gonna.
No. I'm just asking you right now. Is your list done?
I have one more.
So then, when it's your turn, I'll get it to you. So since Chris has no list, I'm going to give him flack for not having Back 4 Blood on his list.
Oh, that is a good one. Fuck, I made this list probably before that. I don't know. Fuck, I forgot about that. That's a good one. Back 4 Blood I do have more.
Or at least I hope. For $80, it better be fucking good.
It better be. I have more games on my list, but they're all games that came out last year that I'm.
That I don't care about.
Yeah. So I do have more on the list, but actual games coming out next year, no. But Back 4 Blood, I'm actually really mad at myself for forgetting.
I wish you got the disc version of the PS5. I would have lent you Ghost and The Last of Us 2.
It's okay if he goes through my library when we console share. He's
Last of Us 1 I still have to get through, and
honestly, The Last of Us.
And I also bought some games that I was going to mention in my looking forward to.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, just I know that none of us are probably going to pick up Back 4 Blood till it's like at least half off, because Lord knows we're not spending $80 on a game we'll play every Thursday. So it'll definitely
Honestly,
be a ways before we play it, and then maybe even by then there'll be more content too, which will be like an extra bonus. So
I can't lie. If you guys and our friend Kevin bought it, I wouldn't even wait for sale. It's not that I'm waiting for a sale; it's that I'm waiting to have my friends also have that game.
I will not. I will not buy
that
that game before, when it's less or when it's more than like $40. In fact, I'll be pulling for you guys first to get Deep Rock Galactic before we get Back 4 Blood at full price. So
that's a good point, and it's cheaper right from the get go, even at full price too.
Yeah.
So that's good.
But even then, like, man,
fuck.
just to have another Left 4 Dead kind of game, because we're playing Killing Floor 2 every week now, and that game is fucking great. It would be nice, though, to have, like, a full level, like, Left 4 Dead again. It'd be nice to have that all over.
Yeah, like an actual campaign, and you get to the end. Yeah, like that. Oh, and the way that game looks, it looks like Left 4 Dead 3, like, so much. And it's
when's it scheduled
graphics
to come out?
I don't know if it's dated yet. I know it's supposed to be this year.
So the alpha's already out on Steam.
Yeah.
You can actually buy it and play it right now.
Apparently it's a little rough, but it is alpha, so...
It's in alpha. It's not even in beta yet.
Okay,
But I mean, you can buy it and be a part of it.
All I want to say is, ay.
I feel like we should skip your turn now.
Honestly, you can, because
No.
next game...
You have a turn.
Honestly, you can. No, you have a turn. Take
He's such a fucking Canadian.
Am I though? Am I? Honestly, nowadays,
I'm not making a
I
race
just-
joke here, Vish. Just get on with your fucking game.
So I'm gonna skip Horizon because you and I.
We didn't
discussed that
skip
already.
Horizon. We just did it.
No, I am gonna skip
We
Horizon.
already did
okay,
Horizon.
because we
God
discussed
damn
that.
it.
All right. So one game I'm definitely looking forward to is Gotham Knights, because frankly, I love the fucking Arkham series because, it's supposed to be coming out this year. I'm not holding my breath at all. I'm expecting it to be delayed.
I'm so nervous about those games in general, just because, like, now that it's not just a Batman game, especially with Gotham Knights, because it's like you're playing as multiple people. I'm like, ooh, this could get weird. This could get like really weird on the story aspect, which is a big part of why I like the Arkham games.
No, I get that, but it also could be an aspect of, like, this is why it like Spider-Man did that, where some levels you play as Spider-Man, some levels you play as Mary Jane.
That's not even the same thing, though. That's not even close to the same thing.
I
mean,
honestly, I would say it is.
I don't think you're gonna have a level where you're just sneaking around as fucking Nightwing. No, it's gonna be like you're gonna be switching between.
But Adam, I understand what you're saying.
No, but I guarantee you, it's going to be. It's just going to be a story that's centered around all of them, and you're going to be either switching characters or playing like it's Marvel's Avengers, where you have multiple characters at the same time.
No, but they're going to do it properly, where like some levels are designated towards Batgirl, some levels are designated toward.
I'm not gonna lie.
Robin.
I hope it does do well, because I would love the hilariousness of the Marvel's Avengers game being terrible and DC's games being good, and then the opposite is true for the films. I would love that hilariousness, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be fun.
I would love Gotham
I
Knights
get
to be
what
Game
you're
of the
saying.
Year when they were hoping Marvel's Avengers would be.
No, I get what you're saying, and frankly, I can see that happening. So I'm definitely looking forward towards Gotham Knights, because it's the whole thing. It's like, I don't know if it's carrying over from the Arkham series or if it's its own thing.
I want to say it
whole.
is. I think they've said it is.
So that's what I'm wondering.
No, Arkham Knights is not carrying over. Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad is the one carrying over.
Oh,
from the
that
Arkham
you're
series.
right. That's why I'm mixing it up.
So you know what? I will just go with both. Arkham Knights and Suicide Squad are my games that I'm really also looking forward to, besides Horizon and God of War.
Yeah, and it's
So
the same with like Horizon and shit. I just want to see gameplay, just so I can kind of confirm what I see.
Well,
there's been some gameplay of Knights.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad one, I
Gotham
kind of want to
Knights
see what the
and
fuck's going on.
Suicide Squad, the trailer showed gameplay.
It showed
subtle way.
Gameplay. Like, it showed more like in-game footage, which is not quite that.
Yeah.
I don't think Suicide Squad's stated for 2021. I think that's 2022.
Yeah, I think Gotham Knights is intended to be out this year.
Yeah,
Gotham Knights is
Either way, we're
year,
not
it's gonna
limiting it to
have, like,
2021 because fuck, we're probably going to be bringing up games that were like 2 years old plus that we haven't played yet that we're looking to play.
So really, I will be honest. The only 3 games coming out in 2021 that I'm looking forward to are God of War Ragnarok, Horizon, and Gotham Knights. So when it comes to my turn again, I'm going to talk about some other stuff that's not.
It's stuff we're looking forward to in the next 12 months. It doesn't have to be anything specific.
Because, frankly,
we're not rich as fuck. We can't play every game when it comes out.
I'm gonna stop right now because I'm gonna let you guys continue on before I get to my next thing because that may take a little longer.
Well, it better not because I'm not spending all night listening to you.
No, but it's gonna be stuff that we all 3 of us are gonna be interested in and excited about. I promise you that.
So are you telling me that when I bring up my next game?
In fact, Adam. I pinky swear on Bowser.
I really don't give a fuck about you pinky swearing on your dog because anybody can say anything and lie. So anyways, are you telling me...
You think I'm gonna fucking pinky swear on my dog and it won't be true?
I mean, it'd be a hell of a way to get a lie past me if I believed it. It'd be a hell of a way to do it.
Adam, I told you I almost lost
Vish,
him.
I'm gonna pull up Google Maps and you show me where the lie is.
Simple. My fucking house, my address right here. I fucking pinky swear on Bowser that whatever I talk about next.
If you ever wanted to get something past me, all you would have to say is I pinky swear on Bowser because I'm legally obligated to believe you at that point. If you wanted to hide the most horrible secret from me, you do that and it works.
In 2020. That was my worst day in 2020. And you guys know that I've been through hell in 2020.
Okay, we're done this conversation of you being a fucking liar, and I'm going to move on to a game that we all definitely are going to want to talk about, because if you tell me that you're not going to be curious as fuck when Stray comes out, when you get to play a game as a detective cat, that you're not going to fucking love the shit out of that, there is something that we will all love of that game just based on that trailer alone.
I'm listening.
Do I have to describe anything beyond detective cat game? That was also kind of a joke game. I don't even know what the fuck that game's gonna be like yet, so I have really no idea.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I'm vaguely remembering Detective Cat game, and
I forgot. You have the memory of a goldfish when it comes to shit that we partake in the gaming industry. So.
Okay, but the thing is, the Chicken Detective one, that one looks fun as shit. Detective Cat game, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, then everybody should be spamming your Twitter and being like, "How the fuck could you not remember the cat, bro?" But if I was taking a serious game,
a little backpack, right?
Calls, tag me, bitch at me, please. I need a laugh.
In all honesty, please do so. But a game that we probably are all pretty hyped up for, and is a game that's been out for a long time but is coming back, is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, completely brought back. And that's going to be so much goddamn fun. That's a game, too, that if it was on Steam, I would love to fucking boot up if it was like $10. It's going to be more than that to launch, but when it's like down to like $10 again, I would love to pick that up again.
I bought it on the PS3 because I love those classic beat-em-ups. They're just fun.
I think it was free on Xbox 360 when I got it. I want to say it was a Games with Gold one time.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah, I think it was, because I remember those articles about that.
So I guess we're all buying it because...
at some point, probably. That would definitely be a game we could totally play together.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
When's it coming out?
I think it's supposed to be in March or something. I think it's coming soon.
Okay, Adam,
Yeah, I don't think it's too far.
Happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter, and let's go fucking punch people until they turn to giant quarters. All right, cool.
Because it's... and not only that, Canadian quarters.
Yes.
That's true.
Because it's probably the most Canadian property that has ever existed.
That was one thing I noticed about the game. I was like, oh, they're actually using Canadian currency.
Well, yeah, because the writer's Canadian and it takes place in Canada.
I'm aware of that, but I'm saying you don't see that often in a Hollywood movie.
So, Chris, what's your next game?
All right, so I have 4, and they're all games that I have purchased and I look forward to playing, and they're all like relatively newish games. So I'm not sure if I should do all 4 at once or if I should do one at a time.
We'll
Depends on how big
keep going
your
in the
guys'
line.
lists are. Keep going in line? All right. So First one, which I can't lie, I have already played an hour of, but I bought Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PlayStation. It was on sale during the Boxing Week or whatever it is. And Adam, since you don't want to pay for Ubisoft games, I don't know if this will count, but this is like you playing it for free.
I mean, there is the rumor going around that like Ubisoft
like
Plus might actually be on Games with Gold now on PC, to which I'm like, any other reason that I can not directly give Ubisoft money, I will fucking take at this point.
I mean, I'm all for that, because if it came to Game Pass and all of a sudden all these Ubisoft games are there, like, I mean,
sure, I'll pay a monthly fee to Microsoft to play Watch Dogs Legion. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I did pick it up. I can't remember, it was like $20 or $30 off. Nothing crazy, but enough where I was like, I
mean, for a game that's only been up for a couple of months, that's not bad.
Yeah. And I didn't actually pay for any of the games. No, one of them I bought because one's on Steam and I paid my own money. But I got Xbox and PlayStation gift cards from my family because nobody knows what to buy me anymore these days for Christmas. So I didn't really pay for. My family did, and I'm very thankful that they were able to get me Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I look forward to actually playing through that, and then giving my actual opinion on it. Because I love Assassin's Creed, but I also need to approach it critically because Ubisoft has not been nice lately, and I would like to point out where they suck.
All right, Vish, what's the next thing on your docket?
So I'm done with games because I mentioned the ones. The one thing I'm looking forward to is Marvel returning to our lives this year. WandaVision is coming back. I am so curious about it. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming back. The only problem I have with WandaVision right now is apparently WandaVision is going to lead directly into Doctor Strange 2. And
so why is that a problem?
Point, because we don't know, Marvel and Disney are going to be very selective with what comes on Disney Plus. So if Doctor Strange is that significant and that big, they're not going to release it on Disney Plus. They're going to wait till theaters are open again.
Well, yeah, we'll kind of get the sense of what they're doing when it comes to Black Widow first. So,
I get that. So right now, what I am looking forward to in 2021 is potentially going back to the theaters.
This is honestly again. What I'm thinking. I don't know if I'll be in a theater in 2021.
Fair enough.
I mean, if the vaccine and stuff is out, I'll go.
I don't. Well, it depends on how much we get vaccinated too, because that's the thing. We have no idea how many vaccines we'll get, because the process is a lot slower than I think we all thought.
If I get the option, I will be the fucking test dummy to get the vaccine.
What do you mean test dummy? The vaccines are already out.
No, I get that, but I will do it. I'll be the first person between my friends
get in line, buddy.
To get it.
Get in line.
Yeah. I get that, Adam, but I know
also you're not getting chosen first. You're not that important.
No, I get that, Adam, but I know.
I swear to God, I need an "I get that" counter on you. Holy shit, dude.
Adam, I understand, but give me a second, dude. Like, I know a lot of people who are scared of getting the vaccine.
Oh my God, we're having
I know a lot of people who are worried about the vaccine having side effects. So frankly, I will go and do it just to show. Just if there's any issues, I'll be the fucking test subject. I will take that fucking bullet.
Thank you for the hero speech.
I get that. But the fact is that what I'm looking forward to is Marvel coming back into our lives one way or another. Because I want to see stuff like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I want to see stuff like WandaVision because, frankly, Disney has the most evil and genius marketing team on the planet. That they will make sure that if it's a situation that like Doctor Strange 2 is a spinoff of WandaVision, it's going to fuck us up. And it's like, oh my God, I want to see Doctor Strange 2 now so I can see what happens next.
So basically you just don't want to wait. Okay, well, whatever.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, basically my thing is I'm just looking forward to having Marvel content back in our lives.
Yeah.
So
what are you talking about? We got Miles Morales. We're good, right?
I get that, but Miles Morales isn't long
God.
to sustain us. Chris, can you confirm that answer?
That Miles Morales isn't long to sustain us, or that
Yes.
Marvel coming back is going to be amazing.
I mean, what Miles Morales is?
No, Miles Morales.
Miles Morales is what, an 8-hour game, right? Ish.
Not even.
It took me 18, but that's because I played it twice.
Okay, but for like most people, it's like 6 to 8 hours.
It took me longer than that. I think if you 100% the game, it's like 12
All right,
hours.
how long to beat Miles Morales? Let's get that information. That's.
I love howlongtobeat.com.
I need to make a point here. Main story 7 hours, main plus extras 12 hours. So anywhere between 7 to 12 hours for most people. How many episodes is WandaVision going to be? How many episodes?
WandaVision will be less than 12 hours.
It'll
be 8 episodes.
That's my point.
9.
Is it doesn't matter because the time is the same.
Yeah, it's.
But I mean, like, Miles Morales ended on a completion. WandaVision apparently leads
WandaVision will
Strange
complete
too.
something. Stop with this bullshit. It will complete its story and lead into the next
there's
story
time,
like a Marvel movie has always done.
Okay, Adam, Marvel movies, they complete, but then the post-credits...
And there's always something at the end that leads to the next thing.
Yeah. And then
how long do we usually wait for the next movie? Like a year, usually?
Okay, I get that, but then back then, we weren't living in a pandemic. Now we are.
So we might still have to wait the same amount of time for some, and even though we'll have like actually all these TV series put in between, so we actually don't have to wait that much.
The only thing, okay, so there's 3 going on this year. It's WandaVision, it's Falcon the Winter Soldier, and there's a Hawkeye series coming.
Wasn't the Loki one dated for this year, or am I mixing up my dates?
Yes, no, you're right. I forgot about Loki.
So there's 4.
Yeah.
But the only one in WandaVision is directly leading into.
Okay.
Is directly leading into a movie. The other 3, I'm not sure about.
Either way, it's like, okay, so it's waiting. So it's like what we've always done.
Not this long and not with this situation.
I mean,
because when Infinity Wars ended, we were like, okay,
it was
we have to wait a year. Yeah, but now it's like it's been over a year with nothing, and now this time it's like, okay, we're gonna have to wait another year. Or we're gonna have to wait like
you
how
waited,
long?
You got a whole lot of nothing, but then you'll get WandaVision, and then you might have to wait a year. But in between that year, you'll get Black Widow, and you'll get potentially 3 other series to go along with it. It's not that bad in comparison.
I get that, but is life going to go back to normal?
I don't honestly care at this point because I've actually acclimatized, I guess. So,
acclimatized.
Okay.
I think that 2020 was worse for Marvel because there was just nothing.
I think now that we're going to have stuff,
there was nothing in.
We're already in a transition period where we're starting to see the light. We didn't see a light at all in 2020. We're now seeing a light and we're getting content. So I think it's going to be a lot easier.
2020 was the first year since 2009. There's literally nothing of Marvel.
So that's why I'm not going to hear any complaints about having to wait for Marvel stuff, because at least now we're getting something. It's better than nothing.
Okay.
I'm excited for Marvel.
That's
WandaVision, I'm so excited.
I'm excited for Marvel coming back into it. That's the one I think is going to actually be the most like mind-blowing. Falcon the Winter Soldier, I hear, is going to be an 8-hour movie from what Anthony Mackie is describing. Loki, I don't know what to expect from Loki.
I don't even care. It's more Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I'm happy with that already. You don't even have to do much.
Tom Hiddleston is an awesome fucking
It
guy.
could literally just be Tom Hiddleston staring into a camera for 20 minutes every episode, and then at the end just being like, Neil. And I'd be like, yes, done. Great show.
Well, let's not make it Twilight.
Great show. Every episode is the same.
No.
At this point,
it'll be the next episode will be 3 seconds shorter and does the same thing, so it's different.
Oh god.
Well, that's
just a YouTube video. That's just a YouTube video. But I mean, I'd watch it. At least I'd watch one episode.
Yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to Marvel returning to our lives because, frankly, it's been too long.
All right, no more depression stuff. You already had your Last of Us Part 2 shit. We're good. We're good on depression. Our quota is done.
And also Madden 2022. That's
okay, and fuck you. So moving back on. This is looking forward to, but also with very questionable eyes. I'm really curious about Hogwarts Legacy, but I'm also worried that it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay, he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. Yeah, I'm not sure about the Hogwarts thing. It's not on my list, but it is something I would want to try.
Like I look at it as a game that has been in production for so long and has been in like developmental hell for so long that I'm like, this could be a Duke Nukem Forever level situation, where it's just an archaic game.
Oh, I hope it's not that.
It could just be a really archaic game that just doesn't have a lot to it because it's been through so many fucking different runs. But again, if it is what it's supposed to be, which is like a Dragon Age meets Harry Potter thing, that sounds pretty fucking cool.
That sounds very cool. That's why I'm just as skeptical but excited as you are.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that it ends up being what we hope it is. I'm just also sitting there being like, there are way too many signs that make me think it's not going to be that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of signs, but the thing you could do with that universe and just
it would also be really nice to have like a modern Harry Potter game that's actually not just a shitty movie tie-in.
Yeah. Oh, some of those PS1 fucking Harry Potter
Except
games.
for the Quidditch game. The Quidditch game was fucking cool.
That one I never played, and I feel like that's the only one I should have played.
Let's bring back Quidditch. In fact, let's have two games at the same time. Quidditch, Square, you know what? Square, go make a Quidditch game and make a Blitzball game while you're at it. Let's fucking go.
Fuck, that'd be so good. Holy shit. Oh,
Speaking
that's a good
of
pick,
games
though.
that I'm also coming in with worry, but it could be good.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sure you'll be thinking similar. Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, yeah. Is that supposed to be 2021?
I don't think so, but there's always been rumors. But again, this is like just stuff we're looking forward to down the road.
Right. It's like, it's closer.
We're already kind of at the point of 2021 for most of you. Like, I still have a few games that are probably this year, but we don't know again because nothing's dated.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with Hogwarts, with Final Fantasy 16. It's just like, I know on paper this could be really good because it looks like it's going back to its roots. Looks like it's going a little bit more a little more mature. So it could be really good. But Square hasn't made a good Final Fantasy, in my opinion, since 10. So
I'm close with you. I would say 12. I would say 12. 12 was different, and I wasn't sure I liked it at first. And then 13 came out. And I'm like, 12 is a masterpiece.
But 12's battle system sucks because it doesn't let you do anything.
Yes, it's not a great. It's an MMO single player.
Yeah,
100%. But I would say 12 is the last one I actually really enjoyed.
But 10 was proper JRPG, 12 was MMO, and then 13 was cutscene. 13 was cutscene fighting. I can't believe that logic from Final Fantasy 13. What if we made a game where instead of telling people what to do, everything's done for you? Isn't that a fun game, guys?
Why?
It's why and it's not on my list because I don't even know what the hell's gonna come out for yet. But like, man, Sims 5 is gonna happen at some point, but I'm so tired of Sims 5 just being games where you literally just say, go eat this. I want a game where I actually get to play a little more like in depth than just pointing and let them doing everything. It's 2021 now. I think we can make a Sims game where there's a little more substance to the gameplay.
Yeah, I caved and bought Sims 4 on Steam during the winter sale. It was 88% off, and even though it's on Game Pass, I was like, I need it.
They don't have a lot of substance in general.
Well, it's more the creative aspect. Like, I even said it when I was playing it for a while. I was having more fun just making shit.
Yeah, it's a relaxing game to me. It's like what I assume Minecraft must be like.
Yeah, kind of. Although Minecraft can be stressful if you make it that way.
Oh, yeah, no. That's true.
So that's
I agree with you, Sims 5 and Final Fantasy 16. Those are good picks.
So it's back to you, Chris. What else you got on the docket?
So I did pick up another game on PlayStation. So Adam, this will be another one you'll be actually able to play.
Damn, I'm getting a mooch a lot off you already.
Yeah, you really are.
Mind you, you're going to have to buy a few things to catch up to my backlog that you can take from. So
yeah, I have like a small but good, like really good. I think these are a few games you will really want to play. So you'll still benefit, but I feel like I will benefit more by stealing all your games. I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
So you'll be able to go through and play through that. Not just the demo that you played. You'll be able to play the whole thing.
So you got the full game now?
Well, it's not. Yes. It's not the full game. It's just the
full
first
game.
piece.
The first 6 hours turned into 30 hours game.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, on Nintendo Switch about 2 weeks ago, I played through the first 6 hours of Final Fantasy VII just to get ready because I knew I was going to be buying this, and I bought this that night, actually, I think. But yeah, I picked that up along with Assassin's Creed.
And then you're going to play the game and be like, holy shit, I thought I was only a Tifa stan, and now all of a sudden I really want to fuck Jessie and Scarlet for some reason. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm going to want everybody. This game, I mean, when I was playing Final Fantasy VII, like there was all the like little like sexual fucking innuendos and shit, but it's a PlayStation 1 game, so it just it's all imagination. I'm just picturing those now, and it's like,
hey man, Cloud looking femme in a dress, I'm down for that shit.
Well, before playing the game, I'm gonna have to switch into sweatpants. There we go. And but I'm very excited because
wait, you're gonna have pants on? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I'm in my parents' house right now. It's probably just common courtesy. But before the stream, when Adam, you and I were sitting in the our voice chat before today's stream, you were playing some music. I don't remember what it was which theme. One. Shinra theme, and I was like, damn, this is a good version. And you were like, oh, it's the remake, it's that version. I was like, instantly I'm like, oh fuck, I'm so excited to play that now. I've already started Valhalla a little bit, and now I'm thinking I made a mistake and I should do remake first, just because I will plow through that hard. Final Fantasy VII remake. Assassin's Creed, it's like it'll be fun, but I'll be like, all right, I need a break. I feel like Final Fantasy VII remake, I'm gonna play and be like, I don't want to stop ever. I love this. So I'm excited to play through it. And Adam, I mean, I assume you'll be playing through it pretty soon too.
It depends. Well, I mean, I think it's the kind of game that I probably won't touch until it's closer to the release date of the next one, if it is the full one or not. Because I've said it before, I've already played the game, so I know that I've heard like there's some significant changes now going in, but I still would rather have the full thing.
You're about to buy the Saints Row 3 remaster, and
but that's different. It's just playing the same game over and over again, and it's completed. If I buy Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm only playing like 20% of a game that I've already played. So it seems like a dumb decision.
To be continued, part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disc 1. No, it's not disc 1, but it's like the concept of buying Final
it's like
Fantasy.
Part of disc 1.
Yeah. It's like the old PlayStation style where you got multiple discs for one game, but imagine you bought it and you only got the first disc. That's what this fucking game is.
Yeah.
I got it 50% off. And again, I had gift cards, so I didn't actually pay a dime. But I really wanted it. And I was going to pick up Ghost of Tsushima as well, but it was only 33% off. And I'm like, maybe a big Final Fantasy game, because it's still like 30 to 40 hours.
Why couldn't you get
Valhalla and then Ghost?
Why couldn't you get the disc PS5? And I would just give it.
Really hasn't cared about discs since like I don't know when PC stopped caring about discs.
I have you guys.
Chris has been a Steam guy for how long?
Yeah,
Chris doesn't know what a CD looks
Halo
like.
5 unopened. Alex's dad gave me this. Halo 5 unopened. I played it on Game Pass. I didn't even open this or put it in the Xbox, which has a disc.
Well, if you go to EB Games, I'm sure they'll give you 15 cents for it.
Oh, it's unopened. They'll give you at least $2.
No, that's just memorabilia.
Wow, they're really generous.
That's just
I know, right? But that falls in line with like falls in line with a bunch of small games. Like, there's a lot of games that like I still have to get to that are from like the past. Like, I got to get Miles Morales still. I got to go through Ghost of Tsushima. I want to take a look at Demon Souls, obviously. Even though it's gonna whip my ass, I just want to. I'm hoping at some point it either goes free way down the line or something like that. I definitely don't want to pay a lot of money for it because there's a pretty good chance I'll play like 2 hours of it and get really mad at it and never touch it again. So, I also want to take a look at Watch Dogs Legion if I can get it without having to pay Ubisoft any money. So hopefully Game Pass solves that problem for me. Vishal mentioned Saints Row Remastered. I was close. It was $24 right now, and I'm like, that's so close, but it's not quite there. I want to pay $15. That's my goal. If they 75% it off, I'll definitely get it.
When did the OG game come out? The OG Saints Row.
Oh god, like I'm gonna guess 2006.
Oh, more.
Okay, I honestly, dude, I would.
Oh god, I'm not even close. 2011. Okay, never mind.
I'll wait till it's $10.
Well, no, the game is that good that I would actually pay $15 for. That's a pretty fair price, especially because the remaster is
I've heard
gorgeous as it is.
If it's that good, yeah, 15
The
is fine.
the remaster is apparently done fucking phenomenally well.
Yeah, and it's still like it's an open world game, right? Like it can take a fuck ton of time.
It's GTA on all the good drugs. So and that's why I said to Vish, if you just came off of Last of Us 2, you should be playing Saints Row, because that game will fucking get you out of any funk, because you can go around and beat the shit out of people with a pink purple dildo bat.
First of all, that sounds hilarious. Second of all,
while Stan Bush's The Touch is playing in the background.
I think I'm gonna stick to Crash Bandicoot going forward for the time being, because I love Crash. Granted, how the remaster nearly made me kill somebody.
Yeah, Crash is a good movie.
I heard it's a good movie. No, but OG Crash, I was playing it. I'm like, wow, I never realized how actually painfully unnecessarily difficult this game was.
Yeah, when you play a game a shit ton as a kid, you justify it to yourself how good it is, no matter how much it kicks your ass.
And then, yeah.
I still got to get there's a couple more. I still got to get around to Disco Elysium, which I've been told is really, really good if you're into story content. Hades, just because it's most people's game of the year on Steam, I got to take a look at. I'm sure Chris obviously wants to as well, because he's a big fan of that. What's Supergiant, I think it is, right?
Supergiant Games, yeah. And I'm excited
you're
because
big with
they have
Bastion and Transistor and shit, so.
Yeah, and they have a Switch and PC version, and they actually have a cloud save between the two versions, so you can
that's great.
grind out on the PC for a while and then get into bed and keep playing, which is like, I don't know why that's my dream, but like that's the dream. Just never stop gaming.
There's a really small indie game I still want to get around to. I think I've mentioned on the show before. It's called Coffee Talk, which is basically like a it's like a small like visual novel kind of game where it's just you in this playing like a Starbucks kind of barista level thing in this almost fantasy world where there's like monsters and humans. And I played the demo of it, and it just looked really nice, chill like story thing, which is really cool. And then the last thing that hasn't been released yet that I do want to touch, shocking, is Yakuza Like a Dragon, which, goddamn, I can't wait to go through that insanity. Yakuza level insanity, but in JRPG form, I'm fucking down. Sorry, what was that, Vish?
Is it a continuation of the story?
I think I mentioned it. It technically is, but it's not. Like, it's finally the first game where the main character from the Yakuza series is no longer the main character anymore. So it's actually like within the universe, but moving on from the first original character story.
Spiritual sequel?
No, it's still in the entire universe. It's still in the timeline. It's the first time ever in Yakuza history that it's not going to be Kazuma Kiryu as the main character.
Okay, that's
Other weird one that I want to actually try, although I'd really want to pony up for an extra peripheral for it. I would love to see what GT7, Gran Turismo 7 will be like.
Oh,
is God, those games drive me.
It's definitely happening.
Angry.
I would love to like, and that's I'm at the point that I want to play with the wheel too. I want to go full in on that shit.
Adam, do you mean 6 or 7?
Gran Turismo 7. 6 already exists.
6 was on PS4.
I'm sorry. I misheard you. I thought
GT7, and then I said Gran Turismo 7.
Oh,
sorry.
I 7.
I got mixed up when you said GT. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker, don't listen. That's my one bingo card item. Motherfucker, don't listen.
Well, I was one letter off. Okay, that was a simple error.
I mean, that was a pretty big error then in the grand scheme of things.
I wasn't an A student. What can I say?
I just went through a bunch of small stuff. So, Chris, anything else on your list? Because I know Vish is done on the gaming side.
I've got 2 left.
Okay. I've only got a few.
Another
left myself,
one, which is okay. So, I oddly enough, I told you guys that my Xbox plan was just Game Pass. Like, I never planned on buying a game for Xbox. If it wasn't given to me for free or on Game Pass, I wasn't going to use it to buy a game. I'd always get it on the PS5. But I ended up getting a $50 gift card to Xbox over the Christmas break. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to exchange this. So you know what? I'll go find a game that's on sale on Xbox and fuck it. I'll buy a game and I'll just make sure it's not one I'll pick something that would be realistic to play on it, where it's like, if it was on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't play it because maybe it's too long or something. Because again, Game Pass, you don't want something that takes 3
exclusive
months.
too, because if you can get
you're
it somewhere
paying monthly.
else.
Yeah, so I didn't get something exclusive, but I did get something I've wanted. And when I checked on PlayStation, it was not on sale for the same amount. So I was like, okay, you know what? This makes sense. I was actually going to maybe do Valhalla on Xbox and then get Ghost and FF7 on PS, but ended up being like, no, I'll get Ghost after. It's still like $60 or something.
Yeah,
like,
by the time your backlog's kind of even out a little bit, it'll definitely be under.
Yeah,
it'll be like $30. So
exactly.
Not to mention there might even be a
so
Game
I
of the
got
Year
this
edition too.
Yes, and this was a game. I think a Game of the Year edition. But it's a game I've wanted for so long. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. I've never played. Yeah, I've never played a Red Dead Redemption ever in my life.
Steam Game of the Year, by the way, this year. 2020 Steam Game of the Year, which is weird.
Exactly. Yeah, and it wasn't on Steam for a year. It was one of those ones where it was an Epic exclusive. So I was like, all right, this is a sign to not buy it yet. Wait till it's on sale and it's on Steam because it'll work on your backlog. I obviously this year was like, okay, stop buying games on Steam so much. So when a giant game that's going to be 1,000 hours comes out, it's like, all right, I'm not going to buy it. But it was such a good deal. It was like 65% off or something. It was like $30, I think, on Xbox. And I was like, all right, you know what? Like, this game's fantastic. I've heard really good things. Quickly looked how quick it ran and everything on Series X, and it seemed to have like almost instant load times, which apparently that's a huge upgrade for this game. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy that. I still actually have $10 on Xbox, and I'm about to get $5 from the Xbox reward program. Just
get
for
crosscode on
games,
Xbox then.
Well, crosscode's still on Game Pass.
Oh, I assume it's going to get taken off at some point. That's why I'm like, get it.
As soon as every month I check what's being taken off Game Pass, and if it's something I want to play, I immediately ship Focus over to that and play it before it's gone, so I don't have to buy it. So if I see crosscode come out on that, I'm gonna fucking shift, and that's my month, like instant. But yeah, I got Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's good because it's something I can play for 10 hours. Then if I need to switch over to something else because it's leaving Game Pass, it's fine because I own it. It's not going anywhere. I don't have to like rush or something like that. Because using Game Pass to play like The Witcher or Red Dead Redemption 2, it's a horrible idea. It's going to take you months, and you're paying a monthly subscription. You just paid full price for that game.
Or Dragon Quest 11.
Well, I'm going to play Dragon Quest 11 on there. I am. But I'm going to keep it on the side. It's a side game. Just like Tales of Vesperia, I'm going to play on there too. But
what's going to happen is you're going to be like 20 hours in Dragon Quest 11, and then Xbox is going to be like, we're taking it off. And you'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go hard because those games are big. But it's like, they're still so expensive. Well, maybe not Tales of Vesperia, but Dragon Quest 11, I haven't seen less than $39.99 anywhere.
I'm trying to think how much I paid when I got it. It might have been around that.
Yeah, and it's still like on everything 50% off because they just came out with the Switch edition where you can go into the 16-bit graphics. Came out on everything, so they were like, haha, it's $54.99, but on sale for $39.99. It's like, that's still so expensive. What the fuck, guys? It's just they managed to figure out how to make it expensive for a long time. So I'll play that on Game Pass just to save. It cost me $5.84 or whatever I paid for my month, so it's still cheaper even if it takes me 2 months for that game. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, another 2021 looking forward to because I bought it and there was so much hype from like 2019 or whenever that game came out. I don't even know.
Either 2019 or 2020. It's not that old.
I think, yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it was 2019.
Oh, okay.
Like there was so much hype and everybody was so excited. People took days off work and I didn't get to be a part of that hype. So I'm doing it. Oh,
sorry,
now.
I was wrong. It was late 2018.
2018. Oh damn! So, wow, I'm way behind.
2019. It's awesome. Like the first game is fucking amazing.
I mean, I can't imagine how beautiful the first little bit in at the top of the mountain is gonna look like on fucking Series X too. Because even on PS4, it looked fucking amazing for a 1080p game and how you just trudge through the snow. So
yeah, oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward.
Does the game take place in Texas and Mexico again, or?
No.
I have no idea.
It definitely doesn't. I don't think I can't fucking remember. It's been so long since I played it. I think it's. Yeah, I honestly can't remember. But you said you have one more, I think, on your list?
Yeah, and it's a small one. So if you want, I can just knock that one out.
Yeah, might as well.
So you know how I was playing Jurassic World Evolution and I'm almost done. Well, that's done by a developer called Frontier. They develop and publish games like this.
Are you looking
I
at
think
Planet Zoo?
Yes, I bought Planet Zoo. It was one of the only Steam purchases I let myself do over the winter sale. I got Among Us, Planet Zoo, and because I'm so into this, because Planet Zoo, Frontier, they did Jurassic World, Planet Coaster, which I already own, and just recently reinstalled because I want to play it a bit. And they had Planet Zoo. So again, it's a management sim, but you're running a zoo now. I was so into the dinosaur version. I want their other game, which is apparently phenomenal. But yeah, so I picked up Planet Zoo, and in the Steam Winter Sale, it was my only big purchase. Everything else I bought. I bought Sims 4, Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. Both of those were like $5 each, even less actually. I think they were $4. I bought Among Us, which was like $4, but then I bought Planet Zoo for like $25 because it's like an $80 game and on sale. I think I got a little bit of DLC, just the kind of stuff I wanted, but yeah, I'm really excited to hop in there and keep going with like the PC management.
Yeah, for those kind of games, I've heard a lot of good things about that game.
Yeah, and Frontier is amazing from what I've seen on their other games. And I had my PC hooked up to my TV for so long that the like mouse and keyboard desk kind of games like Sims and that you'd really want to play at a desk, I haven't been able to do for like 4 years. So now I'm on this huge kick of just like, give me the fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon, give me the Planet Zoo, let me sit here and just fucking click and manage my shit.
Yeah, and then it would be great if EA didn't get rid of Bullfrog and we could have had more Theme Hospital kind of games, but they don't like fun, so.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But yeah, so that was my last game I'm looking forward to. Oddly enough, 2 PlayStation games, a game on Xbox, and then that's my PC game of the year that I'm oddly like, it's not even a big, like, no one would be like Planet Zoo game of the year, but like I'm just so excited for just a simple PC sit down and, you know, build a lion's den in my fucking zoo kind of shit. Something easy and calming, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last few things on my list, Project Athia, which might be something down the road. I mean, Square's other project where they showed the really crazy fucking beautiful trailer that we saw. Yeah, that's been rumored to be coming relatively soon. Like, I even saw one rumor saying this is actually coming out quicker than you think it will. So we might even see a lot more on it this year. Originally a Switch exclusive, Persona 5 Strikers is now a thing that's coming to also other consoles as well, which is basically just Dynasty Warriors meets Persona, which I'm like, fuck it, why not? Yeah, Persona hasn't steered me wrong. Persona came out with a fighting game back in Persona 4 days, and it's probably still one of my favorite fighting games of all time. So, I wish they'd upgrade those and re-release them on PS4, PS5. Those would be fucking sweet because those are so good. The last thing that we were still curious about that none of us mentioned already was Outriders, but again, very much like a lot of games. Outriders, I'm also looking at nervously in the same way with Avengers because. Games as a service games are always weird because there might not be a lot to do. It's also the kind of game that like we'd have to commit to at a decent amount. It's the same thing. Yeah. When Vish was like, "Oh, we should get Avengers," and I immediately told Vish, "You know, we're gonna have to play this game almost every day for it to be worth our while." And he's like, "Oh, never mind."
Are they both Square Enix?
I was not expecting.
Outriders is it's People Can Fly, but Square Enix owns them.
Okay, so Square Enix did Outriders and Avengers. Yeah. Damn it.
So hopefully Outriders isn't as bad as Avengers, but that's a really low bar to climb, so it shouldn't have that much trouble not tripping over it.
Yeah.
The last thing...
Square does such good stuff.
The last thing, and this is nowhere probably down the road, but I have to say it because when it was announced when we were playing Killing Floor 2 during the Game Awards, I immediately lost my shit because I'm like, guys, don't fucking do this. The sequel to the Mass Effect trilogy. Which to me holds a dear place in my heart, and immediately when I saw the announcement made me go, guys, if you fucking not only have killed they already made the name suck by making Andromeda, but if they kill the trilogy for me by making a sequel to it that ruins everything, I might actually, like Vish talks about how Cyberpunk was going to make me have a mental breakdown. If they legitimately ruin everything I ever liked about Mass Effect, that will send me into a mental breakdown, 100%. If they ruin the trilogy...
this is the last episode of the VCR podcast due to Adam's psychotic meltdown.
No. When Mass Effect comes out and it somehow sucks, then you won't ever see my dumb ass again. So There's time. You got time to still deal with me. I'm sorry. You got to still deal
Hello,
with me.
welcome to the VCR Podcast. We're visiting Adam at the mental hospital.
In 2023 or whenever the fucking game comes out, live from Arkham Asylum. Finally, by then I have a green screen, so I can green screen so it looks like I'm behind bars. I've got really shittily put on Joker makeup on, just laughing as I'm drawing on the fucking wall.
I love it. I actually love it.
Adam's gonna write down "fuck Mass Effect, fuck Cyberpunk, fuck Mass Effect, fuck Cyberpunk." That's all written on his wall.
Yeah,
with his mouth.
Like if it, and I said it when we were playing Killing Floor when the Game Awards was going on and that trailer popped up. I'm like, guys, if they make it like the trilogy was, I'm gonna be so fucking happy. And if it's anything but that, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. That's basically it. Otherwise, I'm trying to think if there's even anything like film-wise, because really, again, we don't know what anything's coming. Like, sure, I'm looking forward to Black Widow.
Movies-wise, you can't even be excited.
I'm looking forward to Black Widow, sure. I'm looking forward to like anything that Marvel pumps out. Like, I'm obviously looking forward to Expanse, the new season of that, once it's completely finished so I can binge that. But like, it's like anything else, man. Like, there's so much uncertainty to things that it's like, dude. Also, you don't hear nearly as much. Oh, right, the Mortal Kombat movie. That's the one thing I almost forgot. That I want to fucking see, no matter how shitty it is.
And that's coming out on HBO Max. So if you have an Android box, you can watch it on there.
So I'm just gonna pirate it. Good.
I am so fucking happy I didn't pay to see Wonder Woman. I'm so fucking angry about what it was. Like today on a Facebook page, I commented like, "What did you guys think of Wonder Woman?" And I said, it did the moronic love story that Superman Returns did. And someone's like, "You're missing the point that the stone fucked her up, that it made her very." It's like, I understand the point, but it's like, that's not Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a strong female character. Wonder Woman does not like break down. Wonder Woman does not succumb to emotion. That's what Wonder Woman is. It's not the fact of like the stone made her weak. It's like, it's not a Wonder Woman movie. It was a Diana and Steve love story, and that was the problem, that it was not a Wonder Woman movie.
So in starting the podcast with Vish's depression, we're gonna end with Vish's depression. Because, oh man, well, it's 2021, so I'm not even gonna say the thing, but we're all thinking the thing. We're all thinking the thing.
You know what? If it starts off this shitty, it can only go up from here.
Don't say it. We're fucked now. Okay.
What, that we're gonna pull a Drake?
Vish just fucked this guy.
We're basically on a verge of a civil war this early afternoon.
We said we weren't going to talk about it, and now he's done it twice. Okay, this has been the VCR Podcast. I'm canceling this shit before we get canceled ourselves. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we will see you next week when we will definitely not talk about the Civil War at all either.
Unless it actually happens.
Oh wait, if Marvel's Avengers come, would it be really apropos for them to come out with a Civil War expansion pack?
Civil War expansion
Marvel's Avengers
pack.
Civil War. Actually, you know what? In all honesty, I would applaud them for that, because that would take some fucking balls. Not only because it'd be really, really bad timing, but because the game is so shit. So it would be even better. But fuck it, I like Max Chaos.
Yeah, Max Chaos is good.
Such as the VCR Podcast, where it's always Max Chaos. Chaos is turned to 11 on this podcast. So, with that being said, as I try to end this for the 1,000th time, because I'm horrible at ending everything, apparently. This has been the VCR Podcast. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we will see you on a hopefully more pleasant Wednesday.
Yes, keep calm and play Madden.
And cheers.